sure to wave at the spotters parked off the left there. They're doing a nice live stream right now.
All right, we'll give them a good wave.
Fly Bravo heading, cleared for takeoff.
Bravo heading, clear for takeoff, watch your right.
Welcome to Minneapolis St. Paul International Airports, home to one of the busiest Delta hubs in the United States, as well as the main operating base of Sun Country Airlines, 2 bustling cargo terminals, and a wide variety of aviation traffic, all delivered on today's broadcast from one of the best primetime real estate locations to see the sights and to hear the sounds of commercial aviation in action up close at the Metropolitan Airport Commission's aircraft viewing area under oppressive conditions. Temperatures near 90 degrees today in the North Star State as we are cooked, but excited nonetheless to bring you this installment of live plane spotting on MSP Airport Live. And as we welcome in everybody to our program, I'm Alex Redding. I'm the executive producer. I'm joined by our managing producer, Michael Larson, today at the broadcast booth with me, alongside John Joseph and RJ Bean, guest hosts of MSP Airport Live. John Joseph, flight attendant with 40 years experience for Northwest and Delta. RJ Bean, lifelong aviation fanatic, big family history with Northwest Airlines. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be a very hot day outside, and certainly if you're an aviation enthusiast, today is not for the faint of heart, I will say that.
That is for sure, Alex. Absolutely. It's pushing 90 degrees here today.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it's the primary reason that we had a lot of issues trying to go live today. We were trying to go live at 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time, but our system was just overheating. Our network gateway overheated. Our computer overheated twice. It's just hot out here today. There's almost no breeze. It feels like Oshkosh back in 2023 when I went. It was 90s almost every day. There was almost no wind. It was oppressive. And I'll tell you what, we are also going to have some rainier weather that is expected to come around our neck of the woods here coming up on July 4th in a couple of days as America celebrates its independence.
It doesn't help either, Alex, that we are right in the direct sunlight. There is absolutely zero shade here, standing on the concrete, and it's very oppressive. But we're trying to deal with it.
And deal with it the best that we can. I know that, today has not been a very good weather, happy and everything else. So we are excited, though, however, to come out here as we typically are to do some live plane spotting.
We have had some interesting all 737s at Southwest. We had the old retro desert gold paint. All 737s at Southwest. We had the old retro desert gold paint job, for those of you that remember that back in the day. It actually looked really nice. And we just had the Delta Airlines 100 years anniversary.
We'll be seeing that depart. Yeah, a lot of our problems are just due to the oppressive heat, as I've already said before. So, I mean, if we have some issues, it's a system thing. So, I mean, everything else is checked out for the most part. So, if you're
RJ is being a real sweetheart here. She is holding an umbrella over my head to shade me from this. Thank you, RJ. That's very nice of you.
Unfortunately.
Ground Delta 2226 is on Alpha for Charlie 9.
We're calling at once there. Delta 2226 Minneapolis ground, taxi via Alpha. Remind me of the gate.
Charlie 9, Delta 2226.
2226 taxi via Alpha, Delta, and Quebec.
Alpha, Delta, Quebec. Delta 2226.
For those of you that follow the departures here out of MSP, especially the international flights, we did have one cancellation today. If you haven't heard that already, it was Air France that canceled to Paris today. And that was supposed to go at earlier at 3 o'clock this afternoon. But
hello, Daniel. Thank you for tuning in. So we're gonna beat the heat for you guys today. Yeah, we're doing you a big MSP favor.
Runway 17.
In Kansas City, Delta Flight 1263. It looks like. Short little flight up from Kansas City today. Just about an hour.
Shorter Bravo for now. I'll call you back there.
Papa Charlie Short Bravo, Delta 3113.
We got the minibus as our first catch of the day.
Information whiskey is current plan.
Now that we're actually up and
17.
rolling.
Company's maneuvering just off your right. Let them pass. Then your push is approved. 0.9 for the taxi.
Take one last look at tower here before.
65 heavy, 12 right.
Also, just to check a couple of system things here at the moment. Just want to make sure that we are in good shape and not in rough shape to continue here because it's been quite the challenging afternoon.
We're going to get treated here to another heavy landing here coming in from Amsterdam. We've got Delta 165 coming in on short final. Should be on the ground here in just about 2 minutes. Just another little short flight of 8 hours and 33 minutes.
Repositioned via Lima.
And one of our viewers is asking, is it possible to get a shout out to Delta Haley? You know what? Let's go ahead and do that. Stay cool. Also is what Dakota says. Yeah, you're welcome.
Land long, is that okay? That works.
So there you go. Also, happy Wednesday. You can hear the headset being picked up by RJ Bean. RJ says she got to change hats. It'll be a second here. So we got 165 heavy at A330 from Amsterdam coming in on 12 right. The 12s are active today, so we'll get quite a bit from the replay department as well. In addition to that too. So, and also it is going to be we're going to do this ahead of time. Salute time. We have our pre-baked salutes into our broadcasts. When you see that red tail pop up, that means it's an X-North that we are giving a salute to. So we see a lot of X-Northwest aircrafts here at MSP airports.
Very nice.
1263, once you're on the other side of this company, 737, join Bravo, cross runway 4 into spot number, let's do 6 in the 12 right, the ice pad.
You know, all of Europe's getting a big heat wave right now. I know Paris the other day, 7 degrees. They broke an all-time record. They actually had to close the Eiffel Tower completely. Here we go. We've got Delta Flight 165 coming in from Amsterdam on your screen right now.
3113, just to verify, hold short of Bravo.
Hold short of Bravo, Delta 3113.
4739 Minneapolis ground, was that you ready to push off of Echo 16? Circa 4780, thank you, Minneapolis ground.
Delta 165 is...
Circa 4780, thank you, Minneapolis ground.
Delta 165 is officially on.
9 to the taxi.
Oh, that looked like it may have bounced, Michael. Let's save that replay here if we can.
Alpha to the gate, Delta
1542, thank you, runway 17, taxi via Tango Yankee Kilo, cross runway 4.
Tango Yankee Kilo, cross 4 to 17, South Ave 1542.
Well, sorry about that, folks.
Stand by.
Said our gateway got disconnected.
It's been a challenging afternoon here, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen. This heat is just playing all kinds of tricks on us.
I gave up on my other hat. It doesn't stay on my head real well with the chin strap with the headset, so I had a other hat I was trying to use that's wider brimmed the whole way around to help protect myself from the sun more, and it's just...
If it isn't the cold here in Minnesota, it's the heat, right?
Yeah, I tell you.
We get it all here in the Twin Cities, that is for sure.
Well, of course, you know, this part of the country is known for the winters and the cold, but I kid you not, it's It's freaking hot, as I said earlier.
Charlie, short of
I actually
Bravo.
did a 5K Florida a couple times, and that's what it's called.
That's got to be brutal.
By the race organizer.
Short of 1-2 right at Charlie, Delta 2242.
Now, for
My
those of you
goodness.
that don't know it, that the Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport here is also home to the Minnesota Air National Guard. And on the other side of the airport, on the north side, we do have a Lockheed C-130 coming in on final approach. There it is. Coming in from Phoenix, believe it or not.
Little Alpha Delta, short of the Emperor. American 2140, let's try that again. Taxi via Papa Delta, short of the Emperor on Delta.
Papa Delta.
You see these C-130s around the Twin Cities quite often. They'll go out in tandem a lot. They'll also go out in threes and fours. Very rarely you just see a single one
Charlie cross 1-2 right, join Whiskey cross
taking off. Coming in, not that as unusual.
And ground, Rick 4780, we just pushed off Echo 16.
They might even be visiting from the Arizona Air National Guard.
Brickyard 4780,
Quite possible.
runway 17, taxi via Delta, Charlie 6 Charlie, hold short of runway 12
There it
right.
goes.
Delta Charlie 6 Charlie, short of 12 right, Brickyard 4780.
See, we have a beautiful day here today. We got partly cloudy skies, mostly blue skies, especially off to the west. There's a breeze here.
Yeah, breeze has picked up.
Yeah, about 9 knots. Did just pick up, didn't it, RJ? Just as I was saying that, it picked up.
Can you make the right turn there,
Maybe
Brickyard,
when it was just mentioned,
4780?
Yeah, we went to right.
it hurt us.
It hurt us, that's
Brickyard
right.
4780, make the right turn there, and it'll be
So
Delta,
typical.
Charlie 5, we'll make it Charlie 6 Charlie, still hold short of runway 12 right at Charlie.
Let's see what else we got up here.
12 right, Charlie, Brickyard 4780.
So the aircraft in frame right now is Delta 1263 at 8319, bound for Kansas City to the penalty box. Actually, it came in from Kansas City, beg your pardon, but it's in the penalty box, probably waiting for a gate.
Ground downtown 866 at signature for taxi.
Penalty box gets a lot of action, doesn't it?
1601.
It can.
It can, yeah.
Downtown 866 Minneapolis ground. Good afternoon, information whiskey is now
Got a
current.
737-900 ER taxiing on Whiskey outbound to 17.
We have
This
information
is Delta Flight 2246 to Las Vegas.
Via Whiskey, and we're cleared to cross runway 4, downtown 866. Thank you.
Brickyard 4780, that tug is waiting for you, no factor. Just to verify at Charlie, hold
They
short of
leave
runway
happy
12
and come back maybe not so happy after spending all that money there in Vegas. What do you think, RJ?
I wouldn't know.
Are you a gambler?
No, I'm not a gambler, and I've never been to Vegas.
Okay, well that's perfect then. If you want hot in the desert, you can go to Phoenix.
No, I think it's hot enough here right now. We don't have to go anywhere to find heat.
It's a dry heat.
For the help, continue via Charlie and
We also get the other kind of heat, too. We also get the muggy kind quite a bit here during the summer.
The Muggies.
Delta 165. Are you guys just waiting for a crew?
Delta 165.
I'm just glad that when I get to scan tickets at the State Fair for 12 days, we're standing under big tents, so we're completely out of any direct.
You can't wait for that state fair to start, can you? I can tell.
Yeah, great Minnesota get together.
That's
I'm
exactly
officially
right.
good to go. Took care of everything that I still needed to do on Monday.
We talk about it a lot because Minnesota has, I believe it's the second largest state fair in the country. I think Texas is number 1, but they go 22 days. We only go 12.
Yeah, they have more attendance than we do for that reason.
Right, but
And we can set some monster records per state for the daily attendance.
a lot of people come in from all over the 5-state area here for that, or as we like to say in Minnesota, they come in from outstate.
Yes.
Yes.
And do you know that those attendance numbers may not actually include everybody that comes onto the fairgrounds?
I believe that.
because there are some, under 4 or 4 and under, they get in for free.
Oh, that's nice.
So
Somebody's paying.
So the littles are not necessarily included in that count.
You see, Alex has the camera trained on that Aer Lingus A321 XLR parked over there. I believe is that the Charlie gates or the E gates? I think it's the E gates. Yeah, it's the
Yep,
Echo
those would be
gates.
Echo gates.
So
Those are
American
E-gates.
Airlines
Yep.
Parks and Aer Lingus. Yep.
Yep. Americans at the very end, so they lease the gate space at the very end there. You have Aer Lingus that also has kind of a slot over there as well. There's one point in time where Aer Lingus was actually a part of Oneworld, and that explains
You're on ground.
why they are over there at Concourse E and not anywhere else, and not at Concourse G, for example.
Sun Country 473, Minneapolis ground on meter.
And back when Aer Lingus, they used to bring the A330-200 here to the Twin Cities. They would also send the big birds over there at the end of E-gates as well.
That is nice to clear customs over in Dublin, then you don't have to do it here.
5 miles behind a heavy 767 caution turbulence, runway 12 right, clear to land, winds variable at 6. Clear to land, 12 right, Delta 2262. 374 Papa for Echo 6.
United 374, Minneapolis ground, taxi via Papa to the gate.
Papa to the gate,
6, join Bravo and hold, please.
Bravo and hold, Alpha 3, join Alpha, contact ground point 9. Alpha 3, Alpha, ground point 9,
It should start getting real busy here at MSP. This is about the time we start to see a lot of activity. It's about 5:38 in the late afternoon here.
Drug 4, Minneapolis ground, hold the push, I'll call you right back.
Ground up 2696 on Alpha 4, Delta 2.
Delta 2696, Minneapolis ground, taxi via Alpha, Delta, and Quebec.
Alpha, Delta, Quebec, Delta 2696.
Super Dog 6, give way to opposite direction Airbus, then continue via Alpha to the base.
We've got a FedEx coming in on short final here. Another heavy, it'd be a 767-300. We'll get the camera trained in on that in just a second.
Delta 246, turn right, heading 215, contact departure.
There it is, coming in from Memphis to Minneapolis, 767-300 freighter. Notice no winglets on that aircraft.
Super Dog 4, give way to company under tow just at the tail.
Lots of cargo activity here in the Twin Cities. FedEx has quite a large operation here. UPS has quite a large operation. DHL comes in here. Right, don't forget those Amazon Prime packages from Sun Country operating the Prime Air flights. We see those all day long here in the Twin Cities. All 737-800s.
Sun Country is a all 737-800 airline. However, they are going to be taking delivery of 737-900 ERs, one of which that has finished up its lease with Oman Air, has been painted in the Tide Pod livery yet, but it has not been delivered to Sun Country yet. So we are anticipating the day when it will be announced that 737-900 ER service will start for Sun Country. And that aircraft is huge for Sun Country because, hey, it's the same, 737 Next Gen Series type rating for their existing 737-8 pilots, because they have the same type rating, but they have a bigger capacity, they have longer range. And when you just look at the economics, it really makes sense for why Sun Country is incorporating them into their fleet, and also for the argument of incorporating them into the fleet in general, I think is a very strong one at that.
Right, it'll probably just be perhaps a differences training for those pilots. Saves on a lot of simulator time. Looks like we've got Delta Airbus A321 arriving now, 2262 from Las Vegas.
That's a Neo.
Didn't we just see one go to Las Vegas and now one's coming in? Okay. Out with the new and in with the old.
The Neos are phenomenal aircraft.
Delta 2262, turn left, join Alpha, contact ground point 9er. Alpha point 9er, Delta 2262.
We're going to check out Shamrock there at Concourse E, along with all the other American jets.
Downtown 866, turn left at 120, runway 17.
United Airlines, Air Canada, Spirit, American.
Minneapolis ground, taxi via Alpha to the gate.
And is there another airline that I am missing that is in Concourse E? Aer Lingus.
Air Canada?
You said that one.
Yep, we got Air Canada.
All right. Oh, I'm going to get gotta watch our FedEx over here to see if I can...
Sun Country 3033, runway 17, via Lima.
Freighter arrivals have not been doing a mic taxi, so coming in on...
The last two
Standby.
for UPS did not have the mic taxi.
Mike Tango, cross runway 4.
Okay, we'll continue via Whiskey, cross runway 4, and then left on Mike 67 heavy.
Looks like they might come down, Mike. I think the controllers just cleared them. That Sun Country's coming down Whiskey, so they cleared them to Mike. We're gonna get a little drive-by here. RJ might try to get a wave out of them. Is that what you're gonna do, RJ? Perhaps?
Yeah,
we'll see.
Hot.
We'll see if that co-pilot on this FedEx 767-300 freighter that just landed will give MSP Airport Live a wave here. We always like to see that. RJ's got her bright orange safety jacket out, ready to wave at them. Well, the captain's taxiing it, so the co-pilot can look over here for a second.
Ready?
Here they come. Hear those big engines on that 7.6? We can see the pilots in the window. Over here. Give us a wave. I think we had a drive-by. What do you think, RJ?
Charlie 5, Charlie, and Papa Crest 2.
Charlie 5, Charlie.
That's a negative. That's okay. They're busy.
Delta 1263, very good. Taxi Alpha.
We still have that 319 in the penalty box over there, Alex? Okay, there it is.
Yep, that 319 is still sitting in there.
Super 4, Towers 26-7, see.
Must be a 5-minute major.
Hi.
Woo! You can really get a whiff of that. The wind is blowing in the right direction where the fumes the Jet A sent from those CF680 engines aboard FedEx 798 Heavy, a 767-300 freighter just plowed through the airfield here and got a big whiff of that.
Isn't there an old saying that you love the smell of kerosene in the morning? Smell of jet fuel? Mike is shaking his head, yes.
Darn it. I tried. Win some, lose some.
Yeah, you did a good job.
I think we might have a
oh, they're out of the penalty box.
Flashy livery arriving on the north side. It's Swoop.
Oh, lovely. There it is. That pink, big Swoop. Probably coming in from Saskatoon or Calgary. Let me double check that.
Charlie 6081, maps chronometer, good evening, push approved, 17.9 exit.
Saskatoon, there it is. WestJet flight 1900.
I was just going to guess that flight number. That flight number has been pretty...
It's a good one.
Yeah.
1900.
It's been pretty consistent with the more colorful or oddball paint jobs in the WestJet fleet. You know, typical in relation to their current livery or their past iterations.
Right. They've got the winglets painted pink also. Yeah, it's kind of sharp. I kind of like that. Different.
Certainly is, and the time is running out to catch that livery too, because WestJet plans to paint all of those Swoop aircraft into the new corporate scheme, which, I mean, the new WestJet livery, gosh, does their refresh look good or what, I will say.
I saw one earlier today, and it does. It looks really good.
And they're Their logo, their decal goes all the way down from the tail through the back of the fuselage. It just looks amazing.
Alex, I think we've got a 757-300 coming in on final over here.
Yes, we do.
That's Delta Flight 1208 coming in from Orlando, Florida. Exactly 3 hours from Orlando to Minneapolis today. Of course, that's a Northwest Airlines airplane. They only have 16 of those in service. I think that's RJ's favorite airplane, isn't it? That 757?
Anything that's a former red tail.
There you go.
Of course, I have flown on the 75 a few times, and yeah, you feel yourself being pushed back into your seat. When
Lots of power.
When you feel that power when you roll for takeoff.
We hope you're enjoying the show today, ladies and gentlemen. We do have some wide-body departures yet this evening.
Minus Air France. The French had chickened out.
You are
They
correct.
said it is too hot.
I think we'll catch Rome at 8:05 tonight. And Amsterdam's going to be going also. Flight 162 about 8:05. Rome will be at 8:15 shortly after that. You know, a lot of times you think that there's a wide body that's going to Iceland or Dublin, but both of those are narrow bodies on Aer Lingus and Iceland Air for Reykjavik. Reykjavik will be using the 737 MAX 9 today. And of course, Aer Lingus is bringing in the new to their airline, the Airbus A321XLR. Of course, that stands for extra long range. There's only 2 airlines in the European Union that's using those right now. And that would be Iberia is using one. They were the first ones, and now Iceland Air is also, Aer Lingus is utilizing those also from Dublin. I do understand, though, I think American Airlines, Alex, have you heard this also? American Airlines has some A321XLRs on order. I believe they do. Yeah, I believe they do. And one other U.S.-based airline, it slips my mind right now, who's got them on order. I know it's not Delta.
United has the 321neo on order. I'm not sure about any XLRs.
Okay. We'll have to double check that.
Left join Alpha, contact ground point 900.
Left join Alpha, ground point 900, Air 4821. Go.
Delta 12, J, 18 for now, Fox 12.
Okay, continue Alpha, just turn in behind the opposite direction.
Starting to get a few more observers down here in the parking lot at MSP Airport Live. They got a nice facility for us down here. They've got room for about 25, 30 cars. And they've got a few picnic tables down here, some benches. People bring their families down here. All the way from toddlers to teenagers. All out here plane spotting with us today at MSP Airport.
Direction RJ, continue Alpha to the gate.
RJ, be off to the gate, West 1900.
And now I am in charge of the umbrellas.
Nice. You're doing a great job. Thank you so much.
One over the laptop and one over you and I, John.
I love it. 5:50 in the p.m. exactly here in the Twin Cities.
Yeah, there we go. There's our helpers at the broadcast booth. RJ, Micah, and John.
Hey, kids.
Doing a good job, fellas.
No, it's not raining because we have umbrellas. You'd think it would be. It's raining sunshine is what it's doing today.
Yeah, we're trying to shade our laptop down here running the stream
and
for us.
it's working because that's what's been heating up today from this almost 90-degree heat. It's been overheating the laptop.
Yes.
Super 8, Charlie 5, Charlie.
We're going to work on some of these fixes, I think, and
Air Shuttle 681 Minneapolis,
hopefully won't have any more delays in the near future here.
It's one of the things that we did not expect, though, because we just haven't seen that issue before.
Well, and I think as things, you know, trying to doing the streams in various conditions, you have to kind of figure out what do we need to do to make it work.
Right.
Because we can go in the frigid cold. That is not a problem.
It doesn't get cold here, does it, Alex? What are you talking about?
No, it's nice out when it's cold. Oh.
We forget about the cold in July, don't we?
Yes.
I think we do. Mike, you're not buying that, are you, Micah? No. It's okay.
Well, maybe just a little bit. There's a part of us that does wish for that for at least a few hours, but no more than that. So another salute.
My hands are full.
Delta 44 Minneapolis Tower, 7 miles behind at 75, runway 12 right, clear to land, winds 220 at 7.
There it is. Another salute. He's talking about another Boeing 757-300 coming in on final from San Francisco. Delta's been running that route consistently with the 757-300.
For 4523, contact departure.
Completely full. They can put about 234 people on that aircraft.
Brake, continue via Alpha, and after the tunnel, join Bravo.
Very nice.
Short of the construction.
Join Alpha, then short of Bravo, continue Bravo, then short of the construction, to the deck 8.
Opposite direction, we'll be waiting for it.
Left and ground point 9, Delta 1999. Delta 1923, runway 17, line of way.
There's our control tower over there that getting a good shot of.
Ground Delta 19.
Temperature's holding steady at 88 degrees.
1999 Minneapolis ground. Once you pass the construction, join Bravo and hold short of the tunnel, and then I'll get back to you.
Alright, past construction, join Bravo and hold short, say again.
1999. Once you join Bravo, just hold behind.
One of our awesome
like
members, Baby Band Gaming, says hello from Guam. Whoa, that's way out there.
Wow.
Wow, what's the difference in time right now?
Probably about 12 hours, I would guess. Calling from the United States, to tell you the truth, right?
Yeah, what I want to know is the difference in temperature. Do we have it worse than you do out there in Guam?
I wonder if he's at one of the Marine base or the Navy base out there, or the Air Force base. I think there's Anderson Air Force Base out there, where they have the very, very famous B-52 bombers are based out there in Guam. I've actually seen those out there live.
Delta 1923, turn left at 120, runway 17.
I talked to a mechanic one time on the beach in Guam for the Air Force, and he said, "Do you know the best tool we use to fix a B-52 bomber with?" I said, "What's that?" He said, "A hammer." I got a kick out of that. That plane is from the 1960 vintage.
1999 after the opposite direction.
Still
Continue
operating
via
today.
Alpha.
Alright, after the opposite direction, via Alpha, Delta 1999.
So I was just telling RJ we have brand new on-screen salutes that we're going to do for all of our ex-Northwest aircraft that we see on our broadcast. That's RJ's job. In addition to holding up the umbrellas, it seems like a thankless job, but actually it's a very critical thing because if we don't keep our equipment shaded, it's going to overheat. And we have no stream, so it's a very critical
Definitely
task at hand.
multitasking.
Thank you, RJ.
I will do the best I can. I'm holding 2 umbrellas in one hand at the moment to be able to do this. You'll have to give me the cue.
That landing you just saw was the Delta Airlines 1044 arriving from Nashville.
Delta 1923, contact departure.
So at least until the sun gets a little bit lower in the sky and the temps start to drop a little bit. Of course, that's probably still going to be a little while. It's just 6 o'clock here in the Twin Cities.
Well, it's going to arrive, I think, faster than we anticipate. Today's gone by pretty fast, it seems. I don't know about you folks at home or wherever you're watching, but it seems like it's gone by pretty quick.
It always does, doesn't it, Alex? It flies by.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Of course.
Just like with the June bugs. They're not bugging me.
Not yet. It's still early.
I told Alex before you got here, RJ, when I got up this morning and opened my front door, there was a June bug on my screen in the front door.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
This morning?
Yes. It was dead, but it was there.
Okay, so it was from last night and it just didn't survive the
I
night.
think that's what happened, yep.
So one of our viewers has said they're noticing a building storm in the distance. To the south, question mark. We can get on the radar here and check.
I do see some thunderheads out there. That viewer is correct. I am looking south, and it's...
Southeast.
Excuse me, yes, southeast. It's a ways out there, but it is starting to build a little bit. This is the time of day, the prime heat of the afternoon here where these thunderstorms start to build, but it looks like it's quite a ways off.
Yeah, I mean, it's out of range of the local radar here. I mean, of course, in the distance, yeah, it certainly is building, but beyond the Twin Cities, it's probably well into Wisconsin, I believe, at this point.
But thanks for
no
the heads
threat
up.
for us. Yeah, absolutely. That's why we have that radar there, John, is so we can keep an eye on it ourselves and also keep you folks entertained and informed at the same time.
We did see a go-around here earlier today, didn't we, Alex?
That's what we were setting up, too.
Yeah.
I think it was just like a wind shear type thing, maybe a spacing thing.
Yeah, it was a pretty controlled go-around. I think it was Sun Country that did that.
That would be correct. Yeah, Sun Country went around.
Wasn't too extreme. Those are always exciting to see.
RC Doodles, thank you for tuning in, saying watching from Dickinson, North Dakota. Temperature 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Will stay cool.
1945 minutes contact you, Papa to the gate.
All right, RJ, we might have
a little technical difficulty with our headsets there. We got some cords tangled up, but we fixed it.
Yeah, we're better now.
We got it.
RJ, I think it's salute time.
Oh.
Salute to the red tail, is that what you're saying?
Oh, yes. Oh, that's cool.
As you can tell, we're a little partial here to the Northwest Airlines airplanes, but like Alex said last week, all these airlines out here, they are dealing with the same weather. They're dealing with the same ATC problems. And the flight attendants are dealing with the same passenger issues that they have from time to time. So we respect them all out here, obviously. As a matter of fact, today I'm wearing my Southwest Airlines ball cap today. Did you notice that, Alex? Did you see that?
Yeah, I think I did.
That's a shout out to my friend Todd down in Phoenix. He works on the ground down there for Southwest, and he gave me a little present, so I wear this with a little pride for him.
So how about that? Let's see some sky. Let's get a really big view of just the airfield here, I think. As much as we've complained about the heat, the skies are gorgeous right now. Just the perfect amount of cloud cover. We do get the occasional respite from a cloud passing in front of the sun.
Wind just picked up, too.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I'm hanging on.
If only that wind can pick up just a little bit more, that would be nice. So, RJ, did you get to do your first on-screen salute there with that little node graphic?
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
yes.
Awesome. So we're going to try and do that as much as we can. RJ, that's just for you. That's just for you. Since you started that, there's no going back. I like it.
My fault. I know a good way.
Did we lose Micah? Did he go home?
So he has to run somewhere. I think he'll be back here to help us wrap up.
I turned around and he was gone.
Tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got some place to be. So
understandable. Okay. Let me just double check. A lot of people want to know when the sunset's here tonight too. So we got a sunset this evening.
Probably just right around 9 o'clock.
You got
so
it.
Maybe a minute or two past.
Yeah, 9:02 is the official sunset this evening. So we got another 3 hours of daylight here. No precipitation in sight either, so that's good.
Well, not yet.
No, I'm showing.
We've had our excitement here in the last few days.
I think we're going to have no rain tonight, and that's good. But the temperature went up 1 more degree. It's 89 now. That's okay.
Yeah, it just goes to show, yeah, it can get hot here in the Twin Cities, too.
Okay, we got one coming in on final. Let me take a look and see what is on order here. Oh, we've got Iceland Air coming in. As RJ would say, icy flight 657, nonstop from Reykjavik, Iceland to MSP. 6 hours and 3 minutes it left. 6 hours and 3 minutes ago. Coming in on final right now. Taxi right in front of us and head over to Terminal 2. There they are. Iceland Air in their new livery.
All right, so I've had a classmate of mine from high school here in town for the last couple of months. I think she might be heading back home, to where she's now in Europe. And this is the way...
She might be flying out tonight on that aircraft?
Yes.
You might have to text her and see where she's at.
Yeah, I need to try to get a message out
to
her. So,
that'd be great. Now you're really multitasking now. Umbrella, texting, computer. She's doing it all today, folks.
And short of hotel.
Well, I'm going to have to put one of these down.
Go for it. That's okay. Your arm needs a break anyway, I'm sure.
Push approved 17, United 37.
Off in the line for 655, all issues. Hi, sir, 655, minutes contact to Whiskey and Delta. Whiskey and Delta.
Always fun to see Iceland Air come in here on 737 MAX 9. Like I said, it just landed at about 6 p.m. and that aircraft is only going to be on the ground for 1 hour and 30 minutes. And they turn and burn and head right back to Iceland. Isn't that something? Deplane all the passengers, get the luggage off, put the fuel on, cater it, put the passengers back on, a new crew, and back to base. That is the life of airline crew members. Those of you out there listening that are crew members or former crew members know exactly what I'm talking about.
1026, push approved, runway 17. Delta 1026, push approved, runway 17.
What do we have here, Alex? Airbus A220-100 from Orange County?
Yep.
Flight 1613, Delta Airlines, flying the 220 in from Orange County.
Jets are rotate in opposite jets are rotate in opposite directions of each other, and that causes some stuff. I'm not an expert on engines, so do take what I say with a grain of salt.
It sounded really cool, though. It sounded so cool. And those blades are all made out of titanium, is that correct?
Some titanium, some carbon fiber.
Okay, yeah, they're into carbon fiber now. Might even be stronger.
It depends on the engine, though.
Okay.
Minneapolis ground Delta 1613 clear at Alpha.
There's our Icelandic pals coming in from Reykjavik.
1613 Minutes ground, you guys are
With the
early.
Max 9 tonight.
No, I don't know. I never noticed that aqua blue stripe just that goes up the tail down to back there at door 2 right.
Makes me think of cooler weather.
That's interesting.
Something I'm really wanting right now in this heat, I'll tell you what.
Delta 1878 Minneapolis Star, 5 miles behind, company 73, runway 12 right, clear to land, wind 260 at 9er.
All right, I have messaged my high school classmate friend and see what I get back for a response.
I'm going to grab a water break.
United 37, you call ready to go?
Negative from United 37.
So John's going to go grab a water break here. I think I might also grab some hydration in addition to that because you got to stay hydrated.
Yep, I've got mine out here too.
Ground United 370, work complete with pushback, ready to taxi.
And 370, runway 17, taxi Charlie 5 and Charlie, hold short, runway 30 left, everybody will be waiting.
Alright, Charlie 5, Charlie, hold short 30 left, United 370.
Okay, I'm back. Little water, little gator light, orange gator light.
860, towers 2367, too.
Block.
860, towers 2367.
Now, Alex, we've got an interesting looking plane you just brought into frame there. What do you know about this aircraft? Rodeo?
Not much. Pretty cool, though.
I think I looked that up last week. I think they're based out of Dallas, Fort Worth, out of Love Field, I believe, if memory serves. I like the name. Rodeo. That fits for Dallas.
4739, can you make the hard left turn to join Charlie 6?
Sure, for the pilots on board, it's not their first rodeo either.
No. Good one. That's a good one. I think it's a private charter that you can rent out like a NetJets. It's a good-looking airplane. Look at the size of those engines on that bird.
2129, give way to the company off your right. They're going to join us.
It's a Citation X, by the way.
Look
at that.
2129, thanks.
Certainly is. Cessna Citation X. That's off to Las Vegas, Nevada.
How's that for some performance? I bet that thing feels like a hot rod.
Yeah, oh, no kidding.
Well, it's not just hot here for us here in the Twin Cities. RC Doodles says watching from Dickinson, North Dakota, 90 degrees Fahrenheit there.
Wow.
Yeah, the whole upper Midwest.
That's what we're going to get on the 4th.
And then Brandon Baker says, good evening, Alex and crew. A wonderful evening for plane spotting. I'm watching from the Brainerd-Nisswa area tonight. Any cooler up there by chance?
I think it might be.
Charlie, cross runway 12 right, going whiskey, cross runway 4.
That landing we just saw came in from Mexico, Cancun. Delta Flight 1878 on an Airbus A321 aircraft. A little longer flight than normally, 3 hours and 42 minutes from Cancun here today. You can get down there from here in about 3 hours sometimes if the winds are right.
Well, in a way, that sounds kind of right, because between here and Tampa and about Orlando is roughly about 3 hours. And Cancun is
not that far from
further
there.
south.
Yeah, it's further south. Not too bad.
Yeah, 370, it looks like you just got your transponder out there.
I think that Citation's going to taxi over to the other side, isn't it, Alex? I believe it is. Too bad we're not going to see that take off in front of us here. I would have liked to have seen that.
1878, mass ground, Alpha to the gate, let me know if it's full.
Okay, Alpha to the gate, Delta 1878. Looks like no one's quite there yet. Are we okay here, or do you want to move someone?
No, just the rampers aren't there yet.
It's just the rampers. Looks like they might just come out in elbow.
1878, just as long as you're clear of Alpha anywhere you want to go.
Okay.
Looks like we got another arrival on runway 12 right.
Okay, yeah.
Sun Country 390 from Fort Myers, Southwest Florida International.
Yep, that's fine, as long as you're somewhere on Bravo, Delta 349, or 1878, I'm sorry.
Okay, 1878, we'll be on
Tide
Bravo.
Pod.
Try to 2607 taxi.
This is not my laundry day.
2607, runway 17, taxi Bravo.
There it
on
is.
To runway 22, on runway 22, hold short, runway 12 right. 17, Bravo 22, short of 12 right, Delta 2607. 2129, you cut the corner there, join Delta, and still short of Charlie 5, you'll just be sitting me on the 220.
Alright, so cut the corner, Delta short of Charlie 5, Delta 2129.
2607, give
Remember
away.
earlier, ladies and gentlemen, I said it was going to start
Catch
getting busier here in the Twin Cities, and it certainly is. Another 737-800 United taxiing right in front of us here at MSP Airport Live. That's on its way off to Denver today. Remember that old Continental Airlines tail they've got on there, Alex?
Yep, and that's what United adopted at the merger with Continental.
They decided to keep part of Continental alive there. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, that was the Continental logo.
They should have let the Tulip live. That is United.
I agree. I
Evan would
agree.
have been happy.
You know, when that first came out like that, I said, you know, you got to make up your mind. Are you United or are you Continental? You can't have both. But what do I know? It's a corporate decision above our pay grade, I think.
It's probably a cost thing.
But we're used to it now, I think, aren't we? It took a long time to get used to, though.
So who is this?
Super 4, reposition, Charlie, hold short of whiskey. Charlie, hold short of whiskey, Super 4. 6, start up
That
back
looks like a
short,
757 300. It's 757-200, Delta Airlines. Flight 2654 in from Atlanta.
Yep, this one is not a former red tail. Because not all of them are.
No, they are certainly not.
You can do it short of the gate. If you pass the gate already, just continue.
One of the busiest routes here in the Twin Cities for Delta Airlines, absolutely, without question, is the Atlanta-Minneapolis, Minneapolis-Atlanta run. Of course, that's the world headquarters for Delta Airlines, is down in Atlanta.
Yeah, that's fine. However,
And they shuttle
Quebec facing one way or the other.
thousands of people back and forth every week to get down there for departures out of Atlanta that don't leave out of here. You get to Atlanta, and of course you can go to South America and Central America and Africa.
You can go almost anywhere from
Just
there.
about anywhere. That's right.
That was the international hub for us when we lived in Tampa. So if we were going to fly anywhere, a lot of times we had to go through Atlanta, and that included when we went transatlantic.
Speaking of Atlanta, that aircraft that we just had in frame, that 737-900ER, is outbound to Atlanta.
There you go. That's what I was saying.
So as one comes in, one's going
That's
out.
right. They take a lot of employees down there for training also and other business.
Super 6, continue via Charlie short of hotel. 7 Amster on 22, cross runway 12 right, join whiskey, traffic 2 mile final.
Salt Lake City's also a big training hub for Delta Airlines. They have simulators there for the pilots and big training facilities with mock-ups for the flight attendants in Salt Lake City.
Runway 17, line up and wait. Line up and wait, runway 170, 370. 5 behind them, taxiing. At 2654, if you can be short, they're coming off behind you. That ground point 9er. Okay, left turn behind 75, we'll contact ground point 9, Delta 26. Good evening, Gulf reporting Park, Mike visual 12 right. Number 4 broke on Mike Minneapolis, 5.5 miles behind. A busiest, normally 12 right, clear to land.
We got there, Alex, a Airbus A321 taxi.
Yep, we also got an arrival here too. On 12 right, around the same time.
Headed in all different directions.
I see that, Alex. We've got a Bombardier 6,000 coming in. Just a short hop from Chicago.
Super Tug 4, Charlie, hold short 12 right.
PWK. NetJets. PWK. Does anybody know where that airport is? Offhand, I do not. Could be the city airport in Chicago. What a beautiful airplane. Look at that. Bombardier Global 6000.
3791, push is approved for 17. 3080.
Like I said, you never know what you're going to see here at MSP Airport Live. Lots of business jets. Of course, there's lots of big corporations here that operate out of the Twin Cities. I know 3M has a small fleet of Gulfstreams that they keep down at St. Paul Holman Field.
General Mills is headquartered here.
That's right. That's right, General Mills. They're big.
Cargill.
Cargill, huge.
Super 6, continue Charlie and Alpha. $53.97, runway 17, Papa, Mike, cross runway 4, and hold short, runway 12 right.
How you doing up there, Alex? Beating the heat?
Trying to.
Don't think about it. Sorry I reminded you. We got to get you a hat.
I should have brought one.
United 370, turn right, heading 215.
You got an extra one in the car if you need it.
I actually might take you up on that offer.
Taking care of you today, buddy.
Well, thank you, John.
Chairs, hats, ice. We got it all here.
Swagger.
That's right. That's the most important thing. It's better to look good than to feel good, right? Thanks for that laugh. Another business jet rollout here Alex has on. That is the smaller Gulfstream 280.
They're going to signature just like that Global was earlier that we saw scoot in on 12 right.
And then Quebec monitor point on her.
Cross 12 right, continue via Charlie, Quebec, point on her.
Might be coming in to sign some more paperwork for some giant business deal.
Right in a signature, just monitor point on her on the way.
Possibly.
55 and monitor ground going in 44.
All right, let me go grab Alex that hat. I'll be right back.
Whale alert.
Yep.
There she blows.
Yep. There's that whale call.
We're in 2140, push approved, runway 17.
Push approved 17 American, 2140.
John has got. Which one would you like?
Oh, brother.
Number 5397, traffic on Charlie's no factor.
Right. Which one do I want? Hey, folks, which one should I pick?
Northwest.
You got the Seattle Mariners.
Out of 349, pushing the gate now. I'll get you in just a couple.
Then we got the old school Northwest Airlines logo hat there. How do we feel about that one, folks? We got that hat. Yep, Northwest on the back.
2238, we'll have a visual 12 right. Still 2238, Minneapolis Tower.
We got the San Diego MLB All-Star Game, too.
Clear to land.
Got that cap. Which one should I wear, guys?
Your gate as well. We'll get you there in a minute.
Which one? RJ, what are they saying?
We're not getting any responses.
And we got the Delta thank you livery in today. 391 Delta November is paying the Twin Cities a visit.
Got 3791, runway 17, Papa. Mike, cross runway 4, but hold short, runway 12 right.
So what did our audience say, RJ? Which hat?
Nobody's responded in the chat.
All right, then I'm going to do Northwest.
There you go.
Take the Alpha, Charlie, and come back.
Let's go with the aviation. Let's stick with the aviation.
There you go. After all, we are at an airport. Yeah, the hat I was trying to put on earlier, I actually bought it from one of the vendors at Sun and Fun.
Okay, check it out. Alex decided to pick the Northwest Airlines hat, and he's wearing it OG. He's got OG going on up there. He's got it on backwards. He's looking pretty cool.
Yeah, baseball style.
Love it.
Well, it's a stylish hat. You got the Northwest Airlines logo on there. It's old school. You got it.
I got a million of them at home. I'll rotate a bunch in and out this summer.
Nice. Looking forward to it.
Won't give anything away. It'll all be a surprise.
Delta 2007, turn right, heading 215, contact departure.
Right turn 215, over to departure, we'll see you at 217.
As you can see over, that's the G concourse you're looking at over there. That's where all the Delta wide-body international arrivals and departures go out of. That's where you'll see the A350s parked, the A330-900s, the A330-300s. So that's why you see all those widgets over there right now.
We'll also see the thank you livery that is among them.
That's for the 100 years, isn't it? I believe it is.
Not quite.
Yeah, that's a different one.
Okay. Oh, the 100 years came in earlier.
Taxi via Delta Bravo Charlie, hold short in front of 1 straight.
Oh. Here we go. Red Tail Sloop.
757-200 coming in from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Former Northwest aircraft ending in registration in the U.S.
Tail then push approved for 1 straight.
Nice.
Wait for the Airbus to pass the tail, then clear to push 1 right, Delta 250.
I hear Gerald over there. The resident chipmunk.
If Gerald is out, I'd be crawling back into a nice cool hole today.
That's funny.
Delta 2070 short of 12 right on Delta.
There it is.
Delta 349.
Yeah, it's about time we start getting more of these special liveries.
Yeah, isn't that nice? The Olympic one came in here on the 350 when the Olympics were going on over in Paris.
Yeah, Alpha Charlie and Charlie.
Did you get a chance to see that one, RJ?
No, I did not.
Yep.
So Alpha short of Delta for now.
Alpha short of Delta, we'll select them over and figure out where we're going.
I think they had that painted on a 330-900 and on an A350.
2049 Youth Hotel in Bravo to the gate.
Yeah, the Team USA livery was painted on both aircraft with different paint schemes.
That's what I thought. Thanks, Alex, for that heads up. That is. I didn't know that, but I knew it was on 2 different aircraft.
One of the A350 was painted for the Paris Olympics.
Push next door to Fox 14, pulling into Fox 15. So just use caution both.
Looks like we got another United Airlines coming in here on final.
All right, I understand we're push approved.
Coming in from
Second
Denver.
Airbus 319.
Delta 187, monitor tower 1.
Yeah, about an hour and a half flight for them to come in from Denver today.
Denver and Vegas are real popular. I think Alex mentioned last week that Denver's with the busiest route, Minneapolis, Denver, and what, Minneapolis, Chicago?
That'd be correct. Denver and Chicago are in a constant battle for the top spot as to who has the busiest route in and out of MSP Airport.
With all airlines combined.
That'd be correct.
So I'm going to put out a heads-up call because 258 heavy to Dublin has pushed.
Okay, Alpha,
Nice.
short of Charlie 6, after
The A330-200 today, former Northwest Red
Short
Tail.
of Charlie 6. We contact ground point 9er. Ground point 9, United 1134.
All right, let's see that big bird pushed back from the gate.
There she is. Hi, sweetheart.
Delta 2238. Delta 397, after ground push approved, 21-2 right. Push approved for 1-2 right.
And RJ, this is also a red tail salute. This is an ex-Northwest A330-200. There's only 11 that were delivered to Northwest out of that whole order. Northwest did not order very many of them.
And you want us to move up? Yeah, it's up to you. If they're unhooking you, that's fine.
The vertical stabilizer on the A330-200 is approximately about 10 feet taller than it is on the longer base Dash 300 model that we see here all the time. A little fun fact about the A330-200 as well as the A330-200 is wider than it is long. So it's quite a stubby, big airplane.
Alright, 2140, monitor tower 16.7. 26. Got 5791, monitor tower 16.7. 26.
There we go, another salute, RJ, ex-Northwest A319
Push approved, running 17.
on Taxiway Whiskey.
Headed to San Jose.
American 2140.
Delta 2087.
Mike, crash runway 1 to your right, Gun Whiskey.
Headed over to runway 17 on Taxiway Whiskey.
All right, one more salute, another ex-Northwest aircraft at A320. This is bound for Albuquerque, New Mexico.
1 to right, clear to land, Delta 1358.
Oh, I never took the salute down. I just left it.
Yeah, Papa, Charlie.
One behind the other.
Papa, Charlie, and Bravo.
All right, you can take it down now.
574. I just want to confirm that we're clear to push after this 330. Please turn down.
Next to join on Taxiway Whiskey, we've got American Airlines 2140 off to Charlotte with a
I guess they're ready to push. 737
MAX 8.
They've still got us parked in Charlie 11 for Delta 2575.
It's a pretty common airplane, but American 737 MAXs, they do not show their face around MSP too often, so when we do see them, they are certainly an aircraft of noteworthy interest, but not something to drive down maybe like 40 minutes to this location to come and spot. But they're still pretty cool while you're out here if you catch them, nonetheless.
I stepped away for a minute, Alex. Did you mention the distinguishing engine on that aircraft?
The Leap 1B.
I think we can make a hard
I used to call that the shark tooth engine on there.
You got SkyWest 3791 and Embraer 175LR out to Oklahoma City.
Denver 5397, turn right heading 215, contact departure. The 2870, you're runway 17 line up away. 17 line up away, Delta 287. Delta 606, yeah, it looks like that.
So there's our Delta flight off to Dublin.
Ground Delta 258.
Checking the rudder right now. Making sure their flight surfaces are good, free of obstruction, and ready to rock the skies.
Cross runway 4, Delta 258 heavy. So towered up 2274 with you. Visual, 1 to right.
Still 2274, Minneapolis, 6 miles, line company Airbus, runway 12 right, clear to land, and wind 260 at 7.
Clear to land, 12 right, Delta 22.
As Alex just said, the Minneapolis to Dublin flight, Delta 258, that's on the Delta Airlines A330-200 this evening. And that's the shorter version of the A330 series. They have the A330-200, the A330-300, and the A330-900. And Delta Airlines does operate all 3 variants of that aircraft in and out of the Twin Cities here. The A330-200 has quite a longer range than the A330-300 due to the weight of the aircraft. It's a little smaller airplane, but it still has the exact same engines on it and can hold just as much fuel. So that aircraft can stay in the air quite a long time, up to 12 hours. That could make it from the Twin Cities to Tokyo.
Delta 2875, runway heading, runway 17, clear for takeoff.
17, clear for takeoff, runway heading Delta 2870.
American 2140, runway 17, Delta 2887, turn right heading 215, contact departure.
Just landing just now is another Airbus from Delta, a 319 this time from Missoula.
Yep, also former Northwest.
Hold there.
That's true, RJ. Also
Not
former
to
Northwest.
be caught off guard with those A319s ending in NB. They do still have ties to Northwest.
Delta 1358.
Love it.
Did you get that on-screen salute?
Oh, yes.
Nice.
Pass 79 and hold there.
It's hard for me to tell because normally I could just glance down at our computer. We have this nice big umbrella providing shade to both of you guys
Straight ahead, make
and our equipment.
taxi past Charlie 11, and then make the 180 so you're facing.
So how are we folks liking that? Do we like that? Do we not like that? Thought it'd be something fun to add.
Straight ahead on Quebec and double back on Papa. Is that what you said for Delta 2575?
That's right. Yeah, I just need you.
By the way, Alex, that umbrella is badged at Delta Airlines umbrella.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Just had to throw that in there.
1711, they should be moving now.
Whose umbrella is this?
That'd be John Joseph's.
Oh, that's yours. Okay.
Turn right heading 215, contact departure.
Yeah.
Right heading 215 departure.
A good flight attendant comes equipped with all kinds of things.
Yeah, I'm
The
hiding it.
official, yep, Delta
There it is.
branded umbrella, folks. Delta's got us covered. And more than just the plane spotting department, it's the shade department too. Thank you,
Got that
Delta.
right.
Well, I have a Holland America umbrella at home that says "Damn Rain" on it.
What?
From the cruise line?
Yes.
Love it. Damn, I like that.
Yeah, because everything is damn with Holland America.
Amsterdam rain,
Well,
damn rain. I
because
get it.
They're the damn.
Oh, I get it.
They're the
The
damn
damn-
ships.
That's right.
Because all their ships end in damn, being Dutch.
That's right. That's true. That's funny. I didn't know that. That's great.
Delta 1502, runway 12 left, taxi via Alpha. Delta Pop across from my 4.
Yeah, so a little history lesson as far as Holland America is concerned with my knowledge and times cruising with them. The 4 Vista-class ships
Right to left on
represent the 4 points of the compass in Dutch with the names.
I was wondering about that. I never knew what that meant. The Nui.
The 4 Vista-class ships, of
Very
course,
nice.
we're an aviation channel here, but it's the Zuiderdam, the Westerdam, the Noordam, and the Oosterdam. The
Okay.
4 Vista-class ships with Holland America Line represent the 4 points
Of the compass. I
in
love
Dutch.
it. That's fantastic. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
See, folks, like I said before, you'll learn here more by accident than anywhere else by design.
Well, I have 32 years of experience cruising on the ships with Holland America,
There you
too.
go. Perfect. World travelers here you have, ladies and gentlemen, tonight.
So
Ships, planes, and we all got here in automobiles
yes,
today.
you know where there is that movie, Planes, Trains, and
That's
Automobiles.
right. Yeah, one of my faves.
Oh, yeah.
One of my faves. I think they shoot out of the St. Louis Lampert field on that on there. The TWA was around back then.
Oop.
Wasn't that John Candy
62, Minneapolis,
and Steve Martin?
There's a red tail.
That's your
Delta 914 from LAX.
Delta 2535.
We got that salute prepared.
Oh,
Another
yeah.
300.
My fingers ready.
And into there, into
Another 757 300.
Oh, a little bit of wobble.
Yeah.
There
Ooh,
we
a
go.
lot of smoke off. We've got the right main down first.
Wow, they landed.
Yeah,
They landed short.
right main down went first and gave lost a few inches of rubber on that landing.
Delta 2962, there's just going to be a delay
Well,
for you.
who
There's
pays
got a
for
lot of
those
traffic
tires?
behind
It's
you.
on them.
Goodyear.
534, monitor tower 1617.
Interesting fact about those tires are not filled with air. They're filled with nitrogen. Why? That makes it last a lot less air leak with nitrogen.
Looks like our Dublin departure is being cleared onto the runway.
Contact ground point 9.
That's another salute.
Yep,
Delta 258, heavy traffic is crossing downfield.
lots of salutes. Of course, I'm doing it through the what everybody's seeing today, because my other hand is holding the umbrella.
The umbrella you're doing. That's a beautiful shot, Alex. Look at that.
914, it's Fox 8.
Rawr.
Third Alpha 4. 914, what's your gauge?
I think the heat's getting to us out here today, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, when you get that view that head-on view of an A330, you know.
It's true. Yeah, there's nothing like the silhouette's just beautiful, isn't it? I love it.
Yeah, wait till later on with all this heat till we start hallucinating.
Here we go. He's lined up. He has his runway lights on. That nose gear landing light and takeoff light is illuminated.
Here we go.
There's the roll. He's got those engines spooled up to about 90% power right now.
And now let's hear the roar.
Taxi to 12 right pad, the Alpha cross runway forward, occupy. Going to take jump 940, east occupy, the Alpha cross runway forward. Delta 940, Alpha, and we'll cross runway 4 and Alpha. You're going to the 12 right pad. Copy, going to the 12 right pad, Delta 940. Alpha, again, Delta 1711, taxi, X-ray. Delta 1711, runway 17, taxi via Pop Mike, cross runway 4, hold short, runway 12 right.
We have liftoff.
Hold short 12 right, runway 17 for Delta 1711.
Delta 2187, Delta 2187, runway 17.
It's a beautiful sight against that blue sky, Alex. Great job.
If 17 will take top out, Mike, cross runway 4, hold short 12
We're
right.
starting to turn out to the north and then northeast, maybe over my house. If I was at home, I'd be standing outside my front door saluting as she flew over.
That's right.
Delta 2946, knock it up for me, please.
2946, I like our new tech, go down, come back.
Are we getting another departure here on 12 right? I think we might.
Actually, you're going to Charlie 97?
Oh, you know what? I think we will.
Is this Anchorage?
Fairbanks.
I think that's
Fairbanks.
Fairbanks, yes.
Delta 397 off to Fairbanks.
Jamrock 988, Mount
I remember back in the day that used to be a strictly 757 route, and now Delta's got the 737-900ER on this route to both Fairbanks and Anchorage. It's a daily flight, I believe, for both of those routes.
Oh, yeah.
You can really hear
Even
that
with the
spool up.
headsets on, I
Yep.
could hear that go throttle up.
It's got some noise to it.
Yeah, lots of horsepower.
Delta 2535, you taxiing in now?
Ready to go in now, thank you.
Taxiing, thanks. Delta 2961, push approved 17. 2885, you can snug it up now, short of your gate in once this room. The 2885, snug it up into the gate once there's room, they're pushing now. Go with 132 lit, once there's room, push approved, 12 left.
That was a
At
long roll.
It was a long roll. Those 737-900s are heavy, and he's got quite a flight ahead of him to Fairbanks.
And the hot weather.
That's true.
Do you hear that, folks?
I did.
Shamrock has pushed for runway 17.
Wow.
2187, monitor
What's
tower
happened to the north
1617.
side?
2187, right.
Delta 914.
My guess is they're probably light enough where they can use 17.
Alpha will park on the 12 right pad, Delta 914.
And knowing that the parallels are getting a little bit more busy with arrivals on the north side in particular, as well as our south parallel runway that we're spotting right now in front of us.
Spot 7, Delta 914.
I know, Alex, earlier I mentioned a lot of people are interested in and have asked me how long these flights are to Europe. And then, as promised, I'll give some of those flight times out. Dublin that just took off, actually not a long as flight as you'd think, folks, to Dublin from the Twin Cities. Only in the air 6 hours and 50 minutes today. That's not too bad. Under 7 hours to Europe. That's pretty good.
That is really good.
A lot of good tailwinds tonight.
But also the wide-body aircraft. And, you would not think this, but this is actually true. The wide-body aircraft, because they have those bigger engines, they are faster.
They are.
And they have to be faster, especially to deal with the intense headwinds across large bodies of water, just in general.
That's true.
With their long-haul flying. So they have to have that higher cruising speed, that higher top speed, higher thrust, everything, just because of size and the conditions that they will face.
Unlike the A321 XLR tonight.
So,
not as fast.
So both Alex and John, we need to do a shout out to Mr. Phil. It says not feeling good in the hospital fighting an infection. So obviously he's watching us. So hopefully we can help him feel better.
Isn't that great? He's watching us, taking his mind off of what's happening. Phil, we hope you get well real soon.
Yeah, get well, buddy.
Henry Plies says, when is your
Bravo,
next
Delta,
stream?
shut up
I
a bit.
live very
Number
close
4.
to the spotting area. Well, we're aiming for Friday, but a touch and go Friday evening. It might be weather dependent.
Maybe an Independence Day show, Alex?
That's what we're planning on at the moment. And it will not be a touch and go if it ever does get planned. It'll be a full show.
Okay.
Right.
1350, continue via runway 4.
Oh, that's right,
short of
because
Charlie 6 now.
it's the holiday.
Runway 4,
Special
short of
special
Charlie
Independence
6,
Day
Delta
show.
13.
Right. If not, Sunday?
Aren't we at year 249, I think, this year is? We're going to celebrate our independence?
Super Tug 4, just stand Alpha Delta, Quebec now.
Pretty close to 250.
Yep.
Alpha Delta Quebec, 4.
I thought I was old.
Delta 2187.
Supposed to laugh, Alex.
So, Alex, I don't know if we can answer this one or not. Rick S. is asking, what's the density altitude at MSP today?
What altitude is MSP at? Is that what he's asking?
Density.
1306
I do not know offhand.
Could one of our listeners chime in with that? The density altitude? That's a new one on me. Maybe that has to do with the heat. I bet it does. But the altitude here, we're about 840 feet above sea level here in the Twin Cities. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's... But I mean, as far as the ceiling today with the cloud cover, that's really not an issue.
No, not at all.
So, yeah, that's a one I hadn't heard of before.
That's a great shot right there, Alex, of the nose and the Delta logo. That's fantastic. You can actually see the captain in there through the windows. That's great.
Who has their shade down and who doesn't?
Yep.
They're watching those movies already. Open those shades up, people, and look at the scenery and look at us.
Look at that Delta safety video because your life may depend on it, please.
That's
and,
right.
535, 1 straight.
All right, beacon is on.
There goes the Biker Brigade, one of many that we're starting to see here.
2 737-900s right in a row here. Let's see what we got. Grand Rapids, Michigan is the first one. And the second one is heading in the opposite direction down to Miami-Dade County.
Oof. I wonder who's hotter today.
It's probably more humid there, that's for sure.
But I will say, when you're on the Atlantic side, the water temps are cooler for the Atlantic than the west coast of Florida with the Gulf of Mexico.
Maybe they're heading down there tomorrow, RJ, for a cruise on one of those damn ships.
Technically, none of the Holland America ships sail the Caribbean in the summer.
Okay, well, look at that. There you go.
So they're either
I'm learning more about... I thought I knew a lot about cruising. Apparently, I need some schooling here. That's good.
Yeah, well, of course, that's been a while since I've cruised, but my knowledge is not lapsed.
That's good. That's good.
I think your gate's blocked.
Yeah, they don't. The fleet of ships is not what it has been previously due to COVID, but majority of the ships in the Holland America fleet are either cruising Alaska or Europe for the summer.
Okay, yeah, Alaska. They're big up there.
Yeah, there might be one doing Canada, New England. I'm not sure.
On Quebec, short of gate Charlie 3, thank you. Delta 2560 maps ground push Bruder 917.
Nice crosstalk on that microphone, by the way, on frequency. I'm sorry, I can't help but notice that.
I missed that.
Sorry, folks.
Maybe if I put both headsets on, I could hear it.
My ears.
Alex, is that 757-300 over there from Los Angeles that just landed in the penalty box?
Yep, it's in the penalty box.
9 minutes. Heading for the 10-minute major.
Delta 1306, our next arrival on runway 12 right here in a couple seconds. Coming in from Chicago O'Hare.
12 left, taxi via pop across runway 4.
It's a former red tail, A319.
Salute time, RJ.
It's a coming.
Minneapolis ground Delta 1645, ready taxi. Delta 1645, runway 12 left, taxi via Bravo Delta pop across runway 4. Bravo Delta pop across runway 4, 12 left, Delta 1645. Delta 2962, let Aer Lingus ahead.
That
front.
looked like a light, delicate touchdown.
Nice.
Shamrock 988 Papa is the taxiway out to right, so you can start angling over.
Are we tracking the Aer Lingus?
Runway 17, crypt takeoff.
Yeah, they'll be headed their way over here in just a little bit.
Great.
Gas 130 Juliet, runway 12 left, taxi
I don't
Papa,
see them
cross
over
runway
there.
4.
That'll be nice
Gate,
to
so-
see.
If we got anybody in Minneapolis Tower right now watching us,
They're out taxiing.
have them
I know.
amend their route and have them take off on 12 right.
1306 contact EVL for Delta, sure to collect.
You don't ask for much, do you?
No, I don't really ask for anything at all, but in this particular instance, well, considering the heat and everything that we've seen so far, a little extra real estate couldn't help.
Ground Delta 1358, we got a gate.
I see him. He's out there taxiing right now.
Delta 1358, use Charlie 6, Charlie and Bravo to the gate.
Looks like he's going to head out to the other side of the airport, Alex. I suppose that runway's a lot closer to his gate over there, that's why.
Oh, now we can see him.
Yeah, we've got him in sight now.
To pass your tail, then push approved for 17.
The shamrock on the tail, the green cowlings.
The 2962 monitor tower 126.7. 130 Juliet.
Alex is down doing his magic on the computer here.
Delta 1645 Ember waits for you.
Okay, looking for an Ember is waiting for us, Delta 1645.
In the PM. We did have a slight in the PM. We did have a slight delay earlier today, but
Delta 535 running
we
12
worked
right,
around those
taxi,
technical
Papa, Mike
issues
Alpha,
and
cross.
starting to get a little busier down here too with our airplane
Delta
spotters
1306, turn right on
coming down here,
Yellow,
casual spotters,
line
and
behind us, 73. We will
we've
be
also
well.
got a lot of the AVE geeks, we call them down here, that come and check out all the activity down here of all the different
There are quite a few
aircraft.
av geeks out here today.
There are. I see 3 right now.
Who, me?
You're one of them.
Oh,
You're the one stuck in the middle between the other 2.
well, you know.
So we'll do another red tail salute here for our 757-300 that is currently in the penalty box that just arrived from LAX.
Plane's got a lot of miles on it. A lot of rotations. A lot of cycles, as they call them.
Delta 2560 ready to taxi with extra.
Delta 25.
Believe it or not, they do keep track of every cycle on those airplanes, every single takeoff, every single landing, how many they've had, and how many hours on the airframe itself.
Hold short of 12 right, Delta 2560. And we're behind the Delta on our right.
Sleeper Duck 4, once it clears up, continue Quebec.
Once company clears out, continue via Quebec to the gate. Super cool.
Delta 1306 line should be moving shortly, so continue when able.
You mentioned earlier Anchorage, RJ, Minneapolis Anchorage has pushed with that 100-year livery heading out on the A321 Neo.
Cross runway 4, short 12 right, United, 1237.
So we're going to get another look at that soon.
123.905.
Completely different paint job than any of the other Delta planes. It has the widget, but it's all blue. Very little red in there.
So it looks like Shamrock's actually going to be departing north side here.
Great.
So I heard 17.
Yes, they are. They are
It's coming our
out
way.
at the end of
Great.
runway 12 left.
Good, good, good.
So they're on the north side.
Number 4642, may have contact you, Papa to the gate.
And that's Delta 1172 arriving from Denver.
Delta 29.
Another Denver.
Another Denver.
Final at Mike cross runway 12 right, join whiskey.
That's been my destination the 2 times I have flown out of here since I've been back here in the land of more than 10,000 lakes.
The Mile High City, that's right.
Yep.
Rocky Mountain High, John Denver.
Yep. And of course, this one is kind of important too. This is the Delta 2962 headed to Washington National, former Northwest Red Tail.
Nice.
And number 5063.
Oh, Shamrock's rolling over there.
But I also know what's coming this way. We have the Delta Centennial livery that's headed this way, too.
Up 1172, contact ground on point 9er.
We'll see where they go.
Are you ready?
They might be headed off on the north side, runway
I think they are.
2 left.
2 Airbuses at Mike for 6 times United. 1237.
Delta 535, you can switch to tower
No,
126.
wait.
7.
They've made the turn.
2560 United off the left is waiting for you at Mike. Monitor tower 126.7.
And we need to have a little bit of
we've got United on the left.
a checkup here, Alex, because I'm trying to tap the laptop here to produce the red tail, and it wasn't coming up.
Delta 1132.
It was before, but it isn't now.
Delta 1172 Alpha Delta.
Well, we missed the Aer Lingus taking off on our side. It went over on the north side, but we got a bonus. We're going to get that 100-year livery of the Delta Airlines heading up to Anchorage soon.
Hey, go ahead.
Delta 2962 with your wheels up time. I'm just going to burn a few minutes. Turn left at Kilo 8, hold for the taxiway Kilo.
Alright, Kilo 8, take a left and hold short of Kilo, Delta 2962.
Delta 2027 Minneapolis, tower traffic 3 mile, final and Airbus. Wind at 2507, runway 12 right, clear to land.
2 Rack 11, 2027.
And number 5063, turn left at the next just sequence behind the Airbus and contact ground on point 9er.
Left Alpha 5, and then ground point 9. Down to Quebec, short of 79.
Oh, you know what, RJ?
4005.
I know why they're coming over here.
Runway 4151, runway 17, taxi via Charlie 6.
Tell us,
Charlie,
Alex.
Hold short of runway 12 right.
Guess where their destination is tonight?
Anchorage.
Yep, they want
one to right.
They want the long runway.
There are 56 maps contact.
What do you think of that livery, Alex?
It's
different.
Make the right turn on Delta.
Certainly doesn't look like a Delta plane.
All right, Rick S. is telling us a little bit more information about the
Delta 2560 Minneapolis tower at Mike Cross,
What do
runway
we-
12 right, join whiskey.
the density altitude. It's
right, join whiskey, Delta 25.
approximately 2,491 feet as of 11:53 a.m. Central Daylight Time. So the runway appears to be higher because of the heat.
Okay, we knew it had something to do with the heat.
Helicopter 1 Juliet,
And,
departure from the signature ramp will be at your own
Mayo
risk. Fly
Commenting
eastbound,
back
remain
with Jeff
south
says, I can
of
see the Delta
runway
Belly logo
12
nicely
right.
as they fly over my house in Plymouth.
Nice.
There you go.
Bound for 1 Juliet, Juliet.
Helicopter 1 Juliet, affirmative.
1 Juliet, Juliet, be departure from the ramp.
Plymouth, Minnesota, that's one of the western suburbs here in the Twin Cities. Probably about 25 miles west of MSP.
Tower Delta 2467, coming up on 10 from the visual.
So at that rate, they're coming in on final.
Tower traffic short final. Wind at 2608, runway 12 right, clear to land. Traffic may hold in position.
Oh, helicopter! Helicopter, helicopter, helicopter.
Delta 2122 maps ground, push approved for runway 12 right.
All right, Alex has a helicopter in sight.
Push through 1 2 right, Delta 21.
There it is. Yep. Good eyes, Alex. Let's see what that is.
Well, it's a Bell 429 Global Ranger.
Okay.
2695
Not
maps
sure
ground,
what
taxi via
Says
Alpha
private
Delta
owner. We
Quebec
saw
City.
that earlier.
Alpha Delta, Quebec.
And they're headed away from us.
Yeah, we saw that
Runway
earlier.
4151, monitor tower 16.7.
Helicopter, helicopter.
All of a sudden, we're looking. Where? Where?
Runway 12 right,
Well,
line for weight traffic
the tail
on
number has my initials,
Delta
JJ.
535.
That's something.
United 1237 Minneapolis tower.
Private
traffic
owner,
will
it
be in
says.
Position. Delta on the crossing at Mike Cross, runway 12 right, join whiskey.
1 2 right, join whiskey, no delay, United.
Nobody from my neighborhood.
All right, RJ and John, let's step back, watch and listen to our Delta Centennial A321neo depart for Anchorage.
We're going to get it at turn and burn?
You might.
Contact ground on point 9er.
Left turn point, so 2027.
It might have to with one on final right on its tail.
Alright, Alpha, Charlie, and then Charlie 6 under runway 4, short of Quebec, Delta 2675.
We'll go Alpha Delta.
And the one that's on short on final coming in is Delta 2467 from Boise, so they need to get going.
Quebec, Sigma 34 Central, 33 Central, up to Midwest, Bible flights restricted, please.
All right, here they go.
Julia, on course approved. And what is the on-course heading?
On-course setting for us is going to be about a 020 for 1 Julia.
I think we're going to get a go-around.
Roger.
Tower Delta 2560, we're working on a wind calculation.
Oh, they're pulling off.
We can't do it currently with 17.
They're pulling off.
Alpha Shore Delta for Delta 2027.
If they hadn't have pulled off, we would have had to go around.
Oh, wow.
Delta 605 Minneapolis, tower, wind at 2608, runway 12 right.
That was some quick coordination.
Yep.
So this is Delta 2467 from Boise that's just touching down. That came in on final. They would have had to have gone around if the
That's absolutely right, RJ. That's interesting. We don't see that very
often. The Anchorage
often.
flight had not pulled off.
He was on the runway, lined up, wasn't he? He was.
Yep.
And remember you said it, he had to do a turn and burn because that one was right on his tail, but they got him off of there. That's good. Look at that. That's great.
Charlie 5, Charlie and Alpha across my 4.
Well, good heads up by the air traffic controllers.
That is clutch situational awareness, and that is top-notch controlling.
Absolutely.
We're looking at it for the takeoff, and it's out of our limits by quite a bit right now.
Yep, I had two calling at once. I think Delta 2560, you need to recalculate. Can you pull into the 17 pad and just we'll recalculate there?
Copy, we'll pull up to the 17 pad, ma'am. We are unable on runway 17 or the 12s. 27, thanks.
1237, roger, wind at 270 Can you accept runway 17?
United 1237, we can accept 17.
United 1237, sounds great. Continue via Whiskey, hold short, runway 17. I have a wheels up time after 06.
Alright, continue via Whiskey, we'll hold short 17, United 1237.
Delta 2962, and you may have...
You can already tell that heat is playing into some of the decisions here, whether or not to get more real estate taking off on runway 12 right, which is longer than runway 17, which is behind us.
That's absolutely right, Alex. They have to do some recalculating here of their weights if they're heavy and the runway they need and the winds. That is absolutely correct.
Tower Delta 2560, are we able to pull into the actual lines for the pad?
Delta 2560, and pull into the 17 pad, yep.
Copy, we're in the pad. Thanks, Delta.
This is where aviation gets really interesting. It's just not get on the runway and go. There's so many factors involved in getting an aircraft off of the ground. The weight, the length of the runway, the heat at the airport, the altitude of the airport.
This was not forecasted. Just stand by. Can you make just a left-hand turn just so you're all the way on exit?
We got our red tail back because this arrival that's coming in and touching down on runway 12 right is Delta 605 from Mexico City, former Northwest A319.
Nice. Speaking of a high-altitude airport, Mexico City, I believe, is at over 5,000 feet.
Yeah, that was a 3-hour and 45-minute flight.
Okay. It's not too bad. All the way to Mexico City, not bad at all.
Delta 2937.
Go ahead.
Here are the winds.
Okay, so they've got something figured out, possibly.
Okay. You can continue via Alpha, cross from my 4, switch to Tower.
For our Anchorage departure, you think?
Well, they've made a...
Delta 2467, or disregard 2027, continue via Alpha, runway 4, and then short of hotel.
They sure did, yep. Looks like they're going to be getting ready for a departure again here, and let's see what happens and listen. Maybe we can pick something up from the tower.
We will be
Copy, I'll take runway 12 right. We're just going to need a minute to plug some new information in now.
Delta 535 sounds great, and wind now 240 at 8. If you can make that right turn to join Bravo, and then just hold short of Bravo 1.
Well, there you go. It sounds like Delta 535 got some new information from the company and for their takeoff weights, and they're just going to plug that into the computer. And when they get their clearance, they'll call the tower and tell them they're all set to go. You're at 12 right.
So flight 2560 that is requested runway 12 right is outbound to Reno. To next northwest, A320. The MCDU is the flight computer on board the Airbus aircraft, also commonly referred to by those who fly it as the McDo. So they got to make sure their McDo is set correctly.
Sun Country 1492, Minneapolis Tower, runway 12 right, clear to land.
For Delta 535.
Sun Country 1492, Minneapolis Tower, runway 12 right, clear to land.
Clear to land, Sun Country 1492. For 12 right.
And then somebody else called.
Delta 535, we're ranging now.
The 535 sounds great. Just taxi up Google, start runway 12 right.
We'll turn to 12 right, Delta 535.
Between John and I, it's Yeti versus Stanley cups with our water and our drinks in it. Mine's bigger.
Sounds like a horror movie.
I think I feel
Stanley versus the Yeti.
Exactly.
Towards the runway or the gate now, so you can make the right
I got
turn
the
on Bravo.
Bigfoots.
And then short
Yeah,
of
but I probably
Charlie
paid the
across.
same price for mine that's
Thank
bigger
you,
than what you
right
paid
on
for yours, which is
Bravo.
smaller because of the way I had to get mine.
I'm sure.
Anyways, that's all good
Delta
fun.
2027, make sure you snug it up nice.
So
and
that's
tight.
Sun
Hotel
Country
6,
flight
Bravo will be behind you.
1492 from Columbus.
Ah,
And,
imagine that.
and the-
1492 from Columbus.
And the Tide Pod livery.
United 1237, turn left heading 140, runway 17, clear for takeoff.
Left 140, 17 clear for takeoff. United 1237.
Delta 2962, runway 17, line up and wait.
Looks like Delta 535 to Anchorage is all set to go here. Alex has the camera trained in on that. He wants us to sit back and watch and listen and look at this beautiful aircraft take off with the 100-year livery paint job.
They've been off Delta 2027.
That looks good, thank you.
Takeoff.
Let's turn to 105, 12 right, clear for takeoff at Delta 535.
Delta 2977, Minneapolis Tower, runway 12 right, line up and wait.
Everybody 1 trade out 2977. No, runway 40 and 51. Are you operating runway 17?
And
To go
power,
this
yes, ma'am,
time.
working runway 17.
394, 12 right, and gate, Foxtrot 3.
Delta 2962, turn left heading 120, runway 17, clear for takeoff.
There it goes.
Turn 120, 17.
Envoy 4151, Minneapolis Tower, runway 17, line up and wait.
Runway 17, envoy 4151.
United 1237, flighting 140, contact departure.
140 over departure, have a great day, United 1237.
2.
Approved, plan for 12 right, Delta 2268.
Delta 2094, Minneapolis Tower, way to
Up and away into the wild blue yonder.
Runway 12 right, clear to land.
12 right, clear to land for Delta 2094.
Delta 535, turn left heading 105, contact departure.
Delta 535, thanks for your help.
Delta 2977, turn left heading 105, runway 12 right,
And we're
clear for
happy to
takeoff.
report, too, that the LAX arrival, Delta 914, is finally out of the penalty box.
Nice.
7.
And here's our flight to Reno.
2145.
And a red tail salute off for 12 right for departure.
Now that I don't have an umbrella in my hand. I can do my salute.
Southwest 696, Minneapolis Tower, traffic being hold in position, wind is 250, runway 12 right, clear to land.
Thank you.
Runway 4151, turn left heading 140, runway 17, clear for takeoff.
Western heading 140, runway 1.
Yep.
Very nice.
Everybody's got long rolls for takeoff.
Very, very
runway
nice.
17, line up away.
And Tower, can you say winds one more time?
And you could see just exactly why they fought tooth and nail to go off runway 12 right. They needed that extra real estate. They were hauling.
Wind at 250 at 8.
Summertime, Anchorage, hot. They're probably completely full. 6 hours of fuel.
Delta 25.
They're heavy.
Roger, hold short runway at 17. I don't have anybody behind.
How about this, everybody? More Neos.
Copy, thanks, ma'am. Hold short at runway 17.
Another A321 Neo. This is outbound to LAX, Los Angeles International.
Port departure, Delta 2977, okay.
Let's go 3016. On the visual runway 12 right.
Delta 3816,
Delta
Minneapolis.
2094 from Sacramento, 73-9
Runway 12 right.
Sacramento. We used to call that sack of tomatoes. I don't know why. It's something different.
Well, with my time down in the Tampa area and the big celebration that they do called Gasparilla, arr!
2151,
It's a pirate.
4140, contact
We used to
departure.
call Fargo Moorhead Margot Forehead. Okay, that's enough corny jokes.
yeah, everybody around that time of the year down in Tampa was arr!
Okay, come on. We've got June bugs.
Already?
Yes.
Yeah,
They've come to say hello.
We need to put a headset on
They knew
them
you were
too?
here, Alex.
It's a little early.
So, Alex, I want to give a shout out right now to a young man that I met the other day here at MSP Airport Live. His name is Bennett. He wants to be a future pilot, and he's really into the aviation spotting. So, Bennett, this is John. That's who you met yesterday. So, welcome to the show. Hope to see you down here again soon.
Delta 2094 on Alpha, Fox Creek.
Delta 2094 miles ground, the gates occupied, taxi via Alpha, runway 4, hold short of Bravo.
All right, Alpha, runway 4, short of Bravo, Delta 2094.
Delta 2733 miles ground, wait for the 73 to pass, then push approved for 1217.
After the 73 passes, push approved, runway 17, Delta 27.
About to touch down is Southwest 696 from Austin.
We're ready, land away 12 right, Delta 2122.
2 hour and 20-minute flight on a 73-8.
Taxi with
South by Southwest.
22 right, taxi via Papa Mike Alpha, cross runway 4.
I can't help myself.
Go for it.
Right, via Papa Mike Alpha, cross 4, Delta 2268.
That's the big music festival down there in Austin. I'm sure all of you know that.
South by Southwest, sponsored by Southwest.
That's right, Al. Thank you. I was dying there. Thank you.
If they're not sponsoring it, there's an opportunity for Southwest
There you go.
Airlines.
I'm sure they've thought of that already, but maybe not.
Delta 2122, traffic is exiting. Traffic is on a 2
If we see that happening this year, we expect a little kickback, right?
Fly runway heading, runway 12 right.
I doubt it.
Runway heading,
I doubt it.
Clear for takeoff, we're rolling, Delta 2122.
It's our 321 Neo to LAX. Here they go. They're on the roll.
Minneapolis Tower, wind at 2708, runway 12 right, clear to land.
Watch your right, clear to land, clear to land.
696 miles contact, via Whiskey Delta to the gate. Double gate, double gate. Delta 2027.
They're definitely rolling along today on those Neos.
Runway 4 short at Charlie 6.
All right, runway 4, short of Charlie 6 for Delta 2027.
Delta 2145, taxi with gate. Delta 2145, runway 17, taxi via Charlie 5, Charlie, hold short of runway 13.
17, Charlie 5, Charlie, short of 12 right, Delta 2145.
Delta level 32, they're moving now, Charlie 6 into the gate behind them.
That's SkyWest 3816 from Sioux Falls, a CRJ 900 LR.
Charlie 6 into the gate behind the outbound.
Charlie 6,
Sun Country 220, Minneapolis.
Well, when
Tower,
it comes
wind
to
at
the parade for
2507, runway 12
Gasparilla, it's
right,
our
clear to
version of
land.
Mardi Gras.
Oh, I bet
The
that's
beads
fun.
are flying.
I'll bet that's fun.
Yeah, it all starts out that morning with the Aviation.
They can party
by
down
water.
there.
Oh yeah, with the boat that's towed
The
down.
flotilla, too. They
Yep,
got a
that's
flotilla,
towed down
sure.
the channel with Ye Mystic crew on board, and then Yeah, it all migrates into the parade.
Alpha, I have you blocked off your
Is that
left.
Tampa? Is that where it was?
Yeah, we're Long Bay Shore.
Yeah, I like it down there.
180 for you, so
For
right
the
turn
parade
and
and
then
a variety of other type of events over the weekends to follow.
And then who calls tower? 132
What's the name of that bridge down there that's famous?
Skyway Bridge?
Yep, that's it.
Yep.
You know what I see over there? Hanging around F gates?
What's that?
I spy some X-red tails.
That's not hard to do here.
I have a feeling I shouldn't have created that because I have a feeling that this, for some of you, and I apologize in advance, this might get old.
Well, this was the old Northwest Airlines World Headquarters, let's face it. Two big airlines merged into one giant one, so.
Holy cow, have a Stanley water jug, RJ.
Mine.
She's got a monster one there. That's a nice one.
Well, it's got ice in it, too, so it's not completely full of water.
Smart, smart.
Yep, bigger the better.
Yes, ma'am, we can do that for Delta 2560.
Delta 2560 sounds great. Fly
That's a
runway heading
64 ounce. I
17,
could have had
clear
one
for
even
takeoff.
bigger.
Runway heading clear for takeoff, runway 17, Delta 2560.
Well, we need it today, that's for sure. There's a Sun Country Tide Pod just landed from Indianapolis to Minneapolis. I mean Minneapolis.
Yeah, get it
2145
right.
Minneapolis Tower, traffic approaching 3 mile final at Charlie Cross.
I've heard,
Don't
we've all heard
disrespect my dad's airport.
that one before. I'm flying into Minneapolis.
Well, a lot of people I heard when I would be doing my check-in at the counter, or our check-in at the counter, down in Tampa, they would always just say Mini.
Turn right.
Yeah, that's
For short.
Yeah, Mini.
Delta, monitor bound 0.9.
Right?
Not Mickey Mouse,
Delta
but
9.9.
here.
Snowtown.
Yep.
So we'll be on the lookout for Delta 2268 at A321 that we just saw moments ago here. Taxiing on Alpha. Might be headed to 12 right for departure. Would not be surprised. The jet bridge has also pushed back on Iceland Air.
Oh, yes,
Nice.
it has. So I have not heard back
Delta 2560 turn right heading
from the friend and classmate of mine, so I'm not sure. But I know I did make a trip down to Owatonna to spend the day with her because that's where she was at the time with some of her family staying. And when we were talking about when she was going to be headed back, I'm not sure. I thought she might have mentioned July 2nd.
So when Alex says Iceland Air just pushed back from the gate, we have to turn around to look at that. Our backs are to Terminal 2, and that's where Iceland Air comes in here to park at MSP at Terminal 2.
Now, we're also working at getting a second camera here that'll cover kind of just the areas behind us that are harder to read. So
Great.
any support that you guys can give us.
Like a rear view mirror, except a rear view camera, right?
Exactly.
RJ got a laugh out of that
We've
one.
got our own little comedy show here.
Well, we got to keep it entertaining.
Yes. And we're making it happen.
I'm laughing on the inside.
Making it happen. Sounds like a good
right.
airline
That's
slogan.
right. Let's make it happen. Here we go.
Speaking of making it happen,
That's
it's
right.
our
On the roll.
A321 that we thought was going to go off 12 right. It is, and it's off to Fort Myers.
Delta 2773, monitor tower 126.7.
267, Delta 2773. Thanks.
Ground Sun Country 220.
Off to Fort Myers.
Hotel 2 Charlie.
Sun Country 220, stay firm. Let me know if it's occupied.
It's open, thanks.
Flight 120, contact departure.
Then 120 over to departure, Delta 2268.
Delta 2145, fly runway heading, runway 17, clear for takeoff.
There's a live look at the aircraft viewing area. Quite a few folks out braving the heat, but enjoying the amazing Minnesota summer weather.
That's right. Gives you an idea what it looks like down here.
773 mass start, Charlie, cross runway 12 right, join Whiskey, and cross runway 4.
Charlie, cross runway 12 right, join Whiskey, cross runway 4, Delta 2773.
We probably could have got a wave out of them, Alex.
Oh, well.
Next time.
Ground 5657, we're stand Hotel 6.
Did I just hear a whale? A whale call?
I believe
And I'm
that's
hearing
a
sirens,
siren.
too.
Yeah, we hear sirens somewhere on the field here. We'll see where they're at.
656, Minneapolis. Ground, wait for Sun Country to pass the tail and push approved for 12 right.
Hauling for somewhere.
Yep, we got Minneapolis Airport police on the move, but they're going under the tunnel underneath the runways. Heading off to a call. Just about 7:20 in the evening here at MSP Live, runway 12 right. Let's see what else we've got up on the agenda tonight for our departures internationally. Like Alex just said, we've got Iceland Air pushed back for a 7:30 departure. Looks like that's going to be right on time tonight with their 737 MAX 9.
45, turn right heading 215, contact departure.
Shortly behind that will be the Delta off to Reykjavik at 8 p.m. Our next wide-body departure, ladies and gentlemen, will be 8:05 Delta 162 to Amsterdam.
Also, we got 1484 heavy at 7:45 off to Detroit Metro, assuming it's on time. Now, we have to have a hard stop this evening with
Big
our
sexy,
show.
right, Alex? Yeah.
Yep, so we're gonna watch 1484 heavy depart for Detroit, and that'll be our finale for tonight.
Charlie 6 into the gate.
All right, Charlie 6.
Looks like we have quite a few, John, if you can see our live feed here. Just kind of off in the distance as well. There's quite a few Delta jets that are kind of sitting on taxiway
I do
Charlie
see that.
at the moment. Yeah. So we got two there.
Yeah.
As we slowly zoom out, you can kind of see the third poking its rear out from behind
That outbuilding there.
the utility structure.
Fly runway heading, runway 17, clear for takeoff.
For Minneapolis ground, CTS Papa.
Interesting.
Charlie, hold short runway 12 right. Delta 2151, wait for a company inbound.
Here we go, John. 757 300.
My favorite.
Red tail.
That is my favorite.
That's a salute.
Nice.
1991 company waits for you at Delta.
Been on that plane many, many, many times. Still a workhorse for Delta.
Delta's kept them in good shape.
Yeah, they really have.
Yeah, we are very thankful to keep seeing them here and for the opportunity for not just for the av geeks like you and I, John, to come out here and spot these incredible machines at work, but also be able to fly out of MSP Airport to destinations across our great country or even internationally. So it's whether you're connecting, these are fantastic aircraft. These are my favorite narrow-body jets ever made by anybody. And end of discussion for me, because these are my absolute favorite narrow-body aircraft
I'm
ever
with
built.
you. Absolutely. We're on the same page there. And not only has Delta kept them up good mechanically and on the outside, on the interior, they've completely redesigned them to fit. So they're all uniform for the Delta fleet with the live TV and television screen in every seat back, so that's nice. And of course, free Wi-Fi.
Short of runway 22.
Okay, continue on Papa, cross 4, we'll left turn on Mike, left turn on Quebec, and short of 22, Delta 1991.
What, are you doing a volunteer role out there? No, I'm being okay. Okay.
So, folks, I'm going to try and, well, we have a little break in the action here. I'm going to step down and see if I can't get our live chat alerts popped back on the screen. We tried to at the beginning of the broadcast, but just everything was too hot. I mean, our computer had a heat stroke.
It sure did.
Oh, boy.
It sure did.
Mount Delta 2809 off of Fox 12, ready to taxi.
Okay. That 757-300 we're just talking about just got the word from the tower that they are ready to taxi, and so they'll be on the move soon. Delta Flight 2809 to San Francisco.
Let's do a spotter guide on the 757-300 because we haven't done one of those today, John. I think it's about time we do a spotter guide on the Flying Pencil 757-300 from Boeing. There were just over 50 manufactured by Boeing ever since the model's introduction in 1999, an incredibly unpopular variant of an otherwise popular aircraft. The 757-300 was much liked by Northwest. They flew a lot of trunk routes, and these aircraft are also impressive to watch. Their performance, their range for their size. And another fun fact about the 757-300s is that they are the largest narrow-body twin jets ever produced for the commercial aviation market.
That is something to be said. Absolutely. Think about that for just a minute.
And another fun fact here, in addition to the stats on the left-hand side of your screen, these aircraft can actually hold a few more people than the wide-body cousin, the 767-300 and 300ER.
That's true. That is amazing, isn't it, when you think about that? I think they stretched this by about 50 feet from the 200, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it is.
And also, let's not forget, folks, that John Joseph here. John, you worked the 757 so many times in your tenure for Republic and even Northwest when you were a flight attendant. You have 40 years of experience as a flight attendant. What was the most exciting thing when you got the call to work on the 757 during a shift? What were you looking forward to the most?
Well, you know, in the early days, I would get the call because I was on a reserve status, but as time went on, I was able to bid those routes. I was able to actually say, I want to fly the 757 to Anchorage. I want to fly the 757 to Phoenix, to Tampa, to Miami. So that was my preferred aircraft, was the Boeing 757, albeit the 200 or the 300. And that was an interchangeable aircraft for the pilots, not a different type rating. They could hop from the 757-200 to the 300 and back and forth with no problem. And for the flight attendants, we had a minimum crew of 4 on the 200, but when you added the additional seats of the 757-300, you needed a 5th flight attendant on that. So Northwest Airlines would assign what we used to call an add flight attendant, meaning an additional flight attendant to make up a total minimum crew of 5 for the 757-300. And they would maybe sometimes just follow that aircraft around and fill in to make minimum crew.
Icy's taxi.
Go Charlie 6, cross runway 22, Mike Alpha.
And it's still out there flying. I'd love to see that. You can't mistake that aircraft.
I get excited. There's a 75.
Sounded like Horseshack there for a minute. Even Alex got that reference.
But it's not a former Northwest. Darn it.
I'll be John Travolta. How about
No,
that?
this one is. This is the Dash 300.
Yeah.
Come on, RJ. We got to get that salute in.
There it is.
This is a
long
this is not
pencil.
This is not a former Northwest 75.
Yes, it is. And W.
Where? Did I tap
That's
on the
okay.
wrong one?
Maybe. That's okay. You notice that aircraft, 757
Oh, yes, I did. Okay.
300. You count the
There we
doors
go.
on that. Door 1, door 2, door 3, which is the smaller door behind the wing, and door 4 back at the tail. All those are emergency exit doors and catering doors. They duplicate each other on the other side for a total of 8 doors. And then if you look right over the wings on that aircraft, you have 2 emergency window exits on either side. So you got a total of 12 emergency exits on that aircraft. Think about that for a minute. You've got a Airbus A330-300 with 8. That holds almost 300 people. This aircraft has 12 emergency exit on it. So that's a great safety feature also on that airplane.
More doors, more fun.
Can't believe I remembered all that, but it's true.
Well, with all the time you spent doing what you did, I'm sure.
And my favorite plane.
It's going to be hard to release
Forget
it from your system.
That's true. It's fun to talk about. I love it.
Yeah, and that was on me. I had opened up my flight radar on my phone, and I had
the wrong one. That's so easy to do.
Yep.
And, I don't blame you, RJ, because we've seen so many 757s for Delta that have been not ex-Northwest 757-200s today. So.
Yeah, I think what I had done is I still had it with the one that was over in the penalty box for a while.
Got a comment here from one of our viewers. Jeff in Mass 1 is his name. He says United Airlines and Delta Airlines still fly the Boeing 757-300. That is correct. Iceland Air did have them in their fleet when they had the old paint job on it that we loved, but they've leased those 2 out to an overseas airline. Thank you for that, Jeff. That's great information.
And we used to get the 757-300s here at MSP Airport last year, as a matter of fact. The final year of summer operations for the Icelandic flag carrier for those airplanes were out of the fleet entirely. There were only 2. One of them was painted in the 100-year Icelandic independence livery, which I dearly hope that Iceland Air brings back at some point on some aircraft.
And I just gave our Iceland Air a little bit of a wave. My friend Mary, if you're on board, have a great trip back home to where you're now living in Europe. And Reykjavik is just a connection.
Yeah, we've got an American Airlines.
I'm not sure if she's on board or not, but just in case.
You think she would have texted you? Maybe not.
Well, yes and no. Could have been busy. That's totally okay. I'm sure I'll hear from her.
I see we've got somebody listening down in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Mike Stellick, it looks like, 757. Mike, hopefully you're a aviation fan of MSP Airport Live. I've got a lot of relatives down there in La Crosse, Wisconsin. So hello to La Crosse. What a beautiful city that is. All the bluffs and right on the river.
Neverman 324 at November, cross 17 and leave into the ramp.
South and east of Winona.
Yeah. Iceland Air is getting ready to go here. Let's watch this.
2306, turn left, heading 100, runway 12 right, left takeoff.
Takeoff 12 right, heading 100, otherwise 656. Alpha Delta, Echo 16,
Tech departure, we'll see you guys.
15 over to departure, have a good one, Delta 2809. Bye.
A great shot of Iceland Air 737 MAX 9 off to Reykjavik, Iceland.
Holy Toledo,
wow.
They were heavy.
Yeah, they were heavy. Yep, they took up a lot of real estate on that takeoff, that is for sure. But they're heading to cooler climates, I'm sure. That'll be nice for them.
Much to the relief of everybody on board, I'll bet.
No kidding.
To get out of this hot mess. This organized hot mess that is MSP Airport. Hot
That's
because it is a hot day outside. An organized mess because it's rush hour traffic here at MSP Airport. And organized because we have some world-class controllers up in the cab of MSP Tower, keeping things nice and neat as they need to be.
Line up and wait at 12 right, Delta 21.
Well said, Alex. Well said.
4130 maps ground, taxi to the gate.
Southwest 557 from Chicago Midway.
Country 253 Minneapolis ground, push approved. Push approved.
Whopping hour and 3 minutes.
Love that.
Southwest 557, 2 right turns, taxi Whiskey and Delta.
Beats the 7-hour drive.
Whiskey Delta,
Yes.
100.9 up.
Especially in Chicago rush hour traffic.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no thanks.
No thanks. Don't forget the tolls you have to pay.
Oh, yeah, no. At that point, why not just take the aircraft? Why not just take the plane?
No kidding.
That's what a lot of people do.
2931.
In some instances, and depending on where you're flying to here in the United States, it's actually cheaper to fly in some
Right.
cases than it is to actually make the drive out, especially for longer distances. So that's
And they've got a lot of airlines to choose from down there out of Chicago too. I mean, Southwest just landed. They've got American. They've got Delta. Sure, I'm missing one or two.
2931, join Papa Mike, cross runway 22, hold short, runway 12 right. Alright, that was, so Papa Mike, cross 22, and hold short of 12 right. 2 back, correct, thank you. Delta 1991, ground.
Go ahead for Delta 1991.
Delta 1991, can I, runway 22 is closed, can I have you pull up and hold short of the white line?
On the move and just now rotating is Delta 2151 headed to Portland.
Delta 1991, affirmative.
73-9ER. And you know, and speaking of that drive, when I did my drive when I moved back up here, the last day I stayed, the last night of the 3 nights that I stayed in Rockford, Illinois, so just a little northwest of Chicago.
Sure.
I ended up having to go through a toll not too long after I had started out, which was my last day of 4 days driving when I came back up here. And I'm thinking, oh crap, because you know a lot of these toll booths in this day and age, you just drive through them and they bill you by plate.
Okay.
But I still have an active Sun Pass transponder on my car.
Oh, from Florida?
okay.
So, you know, a lot of these toll systems run, you know, in conjunction with other companies nationwide. And I had no problem because I logged into my SunPass account and there it was.
Oh, you were in the system already. That's
well,
nice.
I have a SunPass transponder, but it worked in conjunction with other.
Yeah, we don't know about tolls up here in Minnesota.
Yeah.
We don't have that sort of thing.
So I had no problem with being billed for it, and I do have funds on the account.
Minneapolis Tower, wind 2106, runway 12 left, put away.
Jeff is asking MSP Airport Live, hello, are you a flight attendant or a pilot for Delta? Jeff, I was a Delta Airlines flight attendant for 40 years. Started out at Republic Airlines in 1980. 1986, Northwest purchased Republic Airlines. They merged and was with Northwest Airlines from 86 until 2009. When Delta Airlines showed up and was with them up until 2020, and that's when Delta Airlines offered a buyout, we like to call the COVID buyout in 2020, and they had a mass exodus of flight attendants to the tune of about 4,000 flight attendants left the company. It was a very nice, lucrative package that Delta offered us, and 1,500 pilots left. That's why you see so many new flight attendants out there flying around on a lot of the Delta aircraft. Hope that answered your question.
Sorry, was it Air Care 7? Air 6, sorry about that short memory. Pursuit is requested into the class Bravo. White flank's about 6 north of the hospital, 1,000.
What do we got landing there, RJ?
Sun Country 1914 from Grand Rapids.
1997 Minneapolis Tower, Charlie, cross runway 12 right, join Whiskey, cross runway 4. You'll follow the company on the other side from Mike.
Echo continue, Charlie, cross runway 12 right, and Whiskey, cross runway 4, and we'll follow company traffic, you said? Yeah, you'll see company on the other side, Delta 2297. They'll be across the mic. You just follow them. We'll go 22.
You're welcome, Jeff. That's great. Yep, the Boeing 727 Republics. Absolutely.
2931 at Mike, cross 12 right, join Whiskey, traffic 7 out. Company
I'm sure you remember Herman the Duck on the tail.
Quack, quack.
A lot of people called it a goose, but it was actually a mallard duck.
Altimeter 29990, verify your 7 North Minneapolis Airport,
Quack, quack.
1700.
Quack, quack.
You quack me up.
Flight 4, radar contact, put into class.
Oh, Alex almost fell off his ladder. It's the heat. I can't help it.
Don't put us in the penalty box.
All right, settle down, you two.
Well, we're waiting for some action here. There's a real lull in the action right now after that Southwest plane landed.
We got a couple 737s on their way out here.
Good.
1-2 right, cleared land, Sun Country 504. Air 5, Minneapolis Tower, Minneapolis altimeter 29990. Proceed out of the class.
This is outbound at Denver, by the way, the 737 900ER. That is joining taxiway Whiskey. And then there is one behind it on taxiway Whiskey.
What are you going to, Hennepin?
Also headed to runway 17.
That air carrier's departing in about 10 seconds, looking for you.
If you commute to Denver from Minneapolis, you're not going to have any problems whatsoever.
Air 5, where were you lifting off of?
Or Chicago.
Air 5, where were you lifting off of? Air 5, approved, thanks.
The advantages of being here in a hub.
721, join Papa Ground.
So true.
Or maybe close to one. I know during my time down in the Tampa area, Delta flies roughly hourly between Tampa and Atlanta.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. It'd be hard to move out of Minneapolis, St. Paul just for that reason, because if you want to travel or have any need to travel at all, and you have access to Delta Airlines right here, I mean, you'd be hard-pressed to find a hub this big in the upper Midwest. The next biggest hub would be Chicago, and we just talked about how crazy that is down there.
Trying to get both 737s in frame, but it looks like our flight to Denver just kind of took off and left the other one in the dust.
Sure did. Yeah, look how slow this one's taxiing.
Yeah, they're taxiing a little
Come
bit
on,
faster.
move it.
Could be punching some information in that
For Lifelink 4,
computer.
5, radar service terminated, frequency change approved as well.
Or maybe he's just not in a big hurry today.
Air 6, same with you, radar service terminated, frequency change approved, leaving class Bravo to the north.
Delta 1991, holding short 12 left, hold, be ready.
At 1991, Minneapolis Tower, wind 2306, turn left, heading 100, and 12 left, cliff takeoff.
Turn left, heading 100, and 12 left, cliff takeoff, Delta 1991.
Sun Country 253, Minneapolis Tower, if you're all set, wind 2306, turn left, heading 120, runway
All right,
17,
now in
cliff
view's
takeoff.
about to touch down on 12 right is Sun Country from Dallas.
3645, visual,
Flight 504.
Got 3645, Minneapolis Tower, wind 2306, turning 12 right, clear to land. Clear right, clear to land, Sky West 3645. Air Carrier 6, leaving class Bravo to the north, frequency change approved.
And another little update is the transponder is on for Delta 1484 to Detroit, a.k.a. Big Sexy.
Great.
721, use Delta now to the gate, monitor .9.
Of course, they tended like to turn their transponders on
Right away?
504, join Whiskey in contact
pretty early, although I haven't been paying any attention to it because it actually is coming up on their scheduled departure time at 7:45 p.m. your local time. So we're just having too much fun tonight, aren't we, John?
We are. We're just loving it. It's getting busy again.
That's the way we like it. That's the way we got to have it, right?
That's absolutely. That's what we're here for.
Whiskey Delta, Sun Country 504. 2749, Minneapolis ground, push approved. Approved, Delta 2749. (2931), wind 2305. For now, fly runway.
Sometimes it's fun to just listen to the tower too, talking to the pilots, giving some instructions.
297, runway 17, line up and away.
Shadow Diver 3254. Hey guys, stay cool out there. It's a hot one. We will.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Also, Jeff in Mass 1 says, at MSP Airport Live, the Boston Airport newspaper sent me out to photograph Republic Airline aircraft. The forecast was snow, lots of it. I still got some nice images. That's super cool. Thanks for sharing that, actually.
We're good, Delta Flight over there.
The Republic was merged into the Northwest system in the 1980s. It was not necessarily the smoothest transition.
267, United 2467.
No, it wasn't. That's true. But, you know, the great thing about that, Alex, was that you had two really hometown airlines. Both airlines were based right here in MSP. So, you know, they had both the offices there, and they had one big airline at that time. I think at one time Northwest Airlines was the second biggest airline in North America.
SkyWest 3645 coming in from Madison. It's an Embraer 175 LR.
1 to right, 751.
United 2467, cross runway 12 right, join Whiskey.
All right, at Mike, cross 1 to right, John Whiskey, United 2467.
You do that really well. I like that.
Well, I have lots of practice.
Fly runway heading, runway 17, quick takeoff.
So has Detroit pushed yet? Let's see. Which would be the Airbus A350-900 heading over to Detroit this evening. About the same time, Alex, don't we have an arrival from Detroit with the 350 also?
1303 Heavy.
That's what I thought.
So I can see where they're at.
Okay, great.
Alpha Delta Papa SkyWest 3645.
I see it now.
Link 4 approved as requested.
1303 is en route.
Okay.
Link 4, thanks. Show you landing assured. Call me on the way up.
They have crossed Lake Michigan.
Okay.
They are 48 minutes out.
Okay. Got a ways to go yet.
Ooh, they're up at 40,000.
Wow.
420 knots is their ground speed.
Wow. 40,000 feet.
Move in, move in, move in.
It can get up there, that's for sure. Might not be too heavy tonight. Might not be a big load between there and here. It's really just a positioning flight, I think.
Yeah, it's a revenue positioning flight for Delta, so it's a flight that Delta does not make money on, but they also don't lose as much as compared to just having it sit at the airport overnight, which you got to keep them in the air in order to make at least some of those losses back if you're not going to make much at all.
It's almost like they're swapping them out. Detroit, mini Detroit.
And it keeps them fresh.
Right.
It keeps them well cycled.
So they're doing it about 8:33, a little bit early.
A little bit early, a little bit past when we're going to be going live tonight, but we'll get 1484 hopefully pushing back here any minute. And we will get them off to Detroit, departing off runway 12 right. Hopefully, if not, if they're light enough, because they typically fly on the lighter side, they might ascend into the air off runway 17, but we'll just have to keep an eye out and stay vigilant for that.
Did you say that's going to be our last one of the evening, Alex? Okay.
Yep.
Well, we'll wait it out here.
Yeah, it's not been a typical Wednesday, not from the technical end, and certainly not from my schedule end. It's, typically you guys already know we're typically out here till about 8 or 8:30, but tonight that's not necessarily going to be the case. But the good news is that we will be back here on Friday to celebrate America's Independence Day on July 4th. We'll have a special July 4th broadcast.
We're going to need just a minute, actually. United 2467.
2467, cancel the takeoff clearance. Hold short 17, let me know.
Hold short 17, United 2467.
Runway 245, Minneapolis Tower, wind 2207, we 12 left, clear line.
Okay, 162 is not quite on the move yet, but they're working on it. What do I hear back there, RJ? What is that? Ah, there it is.
Bemidji Aviation arrival from Bemidji.
We were just talking about them Sunday.
Yep. But it's not a mosquito.
No, it is not a mosquito.
So this one isn't going to bite.
I love it.
Not if you don't get too close.
I think one went by earlier. Did you see it go
Yeah.
by? Okay.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Cargo.
I was talking to one of our viewers
Tower
and
United
followers of the channel.
2467, ready for departure.
2467, wind 2207.
That's a nice looking airplane. I like that plane.
Runway 17, clip ticket.
Turn left heading 12017, clear for takeoff, United 2467. Minneapolis Tower, good evening, Mountain 7553, visual 1 to right.
On 7553, Minneapolis Tower, wind 2207, and 1 to right, foot on.
Hello, 1 to right, set line, Mountain 7553.
Air 4, Minneapolis Tower, Minneapolis altimeter 2990, verify 2100, and cleared into class Bravo as requested, port landing assured.
Just take a nice look here at the G concourse over there while Alex does a couple adjustments here. Looking at some of the chats. We got somebody from Switzerland watching us, Alex?
Yeah, Renato says hello, Minneapolis, and fans greetings from Switzerland.
That's fantastic. Wow.
Delta 2749, ready to taxi Zig.
Hope you're having a wonderful middle of your week. Happy Wednesday for myself, Alex, alongside RJ Bean, John Joseph. We got the full house here at our little broadcast booth, airside to all of the actions. Well, almost.
So he's up late watching.
Contact ground point 8, let them know.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Or up early. We'll go with up late. That's great. Switzerland. Fantastic. We love those comments, so keep them coming, ladies and gentlemen. We love to hear from you and the background and who you know, what you know. And who knows, we might know you.
Yeah, maybe.
Looks like the wind's died down a little bit too. 7 knots now. Nice calm evening here in the Twin Cities. No weather issues whatsoever for the planes coming and going here tonight at MSP Airport Live. Because we all know the Twin Cities can get their fair share of bad weather. So when we have beautiful weather for flying like today, it's a real blessing.
Care 4, ready to service terminated, for exchange approved, top in the way out.
Let's see if that A350's on the move yet, heading to Detroit.
It doesn't look like
Not
they've
yet,
moved
huh?
yet.
Okay.
Not quite. Oh, we have to be on the lookout for the feeder. We have a FedEx ATR that'll be inbound here in just a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yep. The small feeder.
Yep.
There it is. Nice. The high wing.
Coming in from Duluth. Have you been to Duluth?
Oh, yes. Been to Duluth. We're so Minnesotan, aren't we?
I tell you.
So this is Mountain Air Cargo flying for FedEx.
Tower, Bemidji 71 outside kids, so 1 to right. Couple of ones, Bemidji 47, Minneapolis Tower, wind 2307, or 1 to left, clear to land.
Love to see those props spinning. It looks like it's in slow motion on the camera, doesn't it?
5 and trail of the bus, caution wake turbulence, wind 2307, or 1 to right, clear to land. 2 right, turn left, Center 2209, Minneapolis Tower, company 3 out at Mike Cross, and 1 to right, showing whiskey.
309, cross 1 to right, join whiskey.
On 7553, taxi Charlie Tango, cross 22, monitor point 9. See ya.
Oh,
Charlie
got
Tango,
it.
cross 22,
Gotta
monitor
get my
point 9.
finger ready for the red tail salute.
See ya.
We're going to be getting a 7.5 coming by us Delta 2309 headed to Orlando, former Northwest Red Tail 73-300.
There it is.
Our production laptop is not cooperating again to show our red tail salute on the screen, but
as we've got our 757-300 taxiing out for takeoff. We're keeping our eye on the A350. It's getting ready to push back shortly here from Minneapolis to Detroit. Flight 1484. We'll let you know when that happens. For right now, we've got a little lull in the action. Got a nice shot of the MSP Airport tower. And we'll be back on the planes here shortly.
Start up 2392 on the visual, 1 to right.
2392 Minneapolis Tower, 5 and trail Queen Air, wind 2305, and 1 to right, put on.
Clear, I am 1 to right up 2392.
If you'd like to come down here, ladies and gentlemen, in the parking lot at right beside runway 12 right. It actually has a website, to tell you the truth. It's MSP Airport viewing area. It'll tell you how to get here. It's on Cargo Road. It's right next to the FedEx facility. And there's, like I said earlier, there's room for parking down here for about 25 or 30 vehicles. There's some picnic tables to sit on and some benches. And you meet a lot of nice people down here. And if we're out here broadcasting live, please come down and say hi to us. We'd love to see you.
Mission Bravo Zulu, current Minneapolis, altimeter 29990. Wait for you, Charlie, if you got it.
And I don't know if you knew this the other day, but Alex did mention that we do broadcast here 12 months out of the year, year-round. He'll be out here in 15-degree weather. So we won't be complaining about the heat then. We'll be complaining, but it won't be about the heat.
Yeah, it'll be about the wind chill. Just wait till that rolls around.
I can wait.
2932, traffic 3 out at Mike, cross 12 right, join whiskey.
Cross 12 right at Mike.
from one extreme to the other.
That's right. We'll bundle up. It'll be good.
Step down off the ladder here real quick just to get some hydration.
Segments from Minnesota surrounding areas available on flight service frequencies concerning thunderstorms.
Noodles says hello. Hello, Noodles.
Well, and as I used to say with the deer standing in our yard in our home in Florida, hi. Yeah, I'd really do that. I mean, they would just stand there and look at us.
Deer everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, you know, we'd be inside looking out our windows. They'd just be passing through and walking through our yard. Well, we live right next to a good-sized Pinellas County park, so that's kind of part of the reason. And with the increasing population.
We got a Delta 321 taxiing out here.
They are headed to Raleigh-Durham.
Okay.
Delta 2932. Headed over to runway 17.
Second, push approved.
After the Airbus, push through Park 3.
What do we got coming here on final? Let's take a look.
Salute time.
A320 from Jacksonville, Florida. An old Northwest Airlines bird. That's ship
47, Mike, cross 1
3266.
to right, continue Mike Tango, sit.
Cross 1 2 right, Mike Tango, for making 47.
2392. If you miss, roll down to Whiskey 3 with a right turn for me, please. Whiskey 3, Whiskey, and then Delta, hold short 1 2
Let's
right.
check on our last wide body here on our broadcast tonight, the A350.
2392, I'm actually going to
Until I'm anxious for that to take off.
Hold short 1 2 right.
Whiskey Charlie, short 1 2 right, Delta.
Let's take
We're going to give a delayed salute here for that A320 that we just saw.
There it is.
Yeah, I was trying to do that, and it wouldn't respond to my...
Yeah, it's been giving you fits.
The right touch.
Cross 1 2 right, Mike, go with
It's a new feature.
Yep. Even I'm getting used to it.
Bravo, on to runway
We'll get the hang of it.
2, hold short runway 1 2 right. Delta Bravo, on to 22, hold short of 1 2 right. Super Tug 3, monitor tower, 126.7. 126.7, Tug 3. Thanks. 2749, turn right, heading 215, and contact departure, so. 215, contact departure to 2749.
So I'm checking on that A350 flight to Detroit. It's running a little behind schedule. Scheduled out at 7:45, so it's about 15 minutes.
They're pushing.
Yeah, they've pushed.
Oh, there you go. Look.
Yeah, there we go. We got the A350, everybody.
There it is.
But first,
2961 maps count.
let's catch this Delta 717 headed to runway 17.
Headed to Chicago O'Hare.
Mm.
That's the first one I've seen today, or this evening.
Mm-hmm.
Ground Delta 1484 taxi. Delta 1484 heavy, runway 17, taxi via Alpha, Delta, hold short, runway 12 right.
Alpha, Delta, short 1 2 right on the way. 17 Delta 114.
Oh, wow. We've got some viewers that are kind of chatting back and forth, and Noodles is just in contact with Optimistic Mountain Landscape. Got to spit that one out. Because Noodles is in Colorado Springs, out in Colorado. It was 90 degrees there today.
2932, contact departure today.
It's hot everywhere.
Ground after the outbound 75. Tug 3, continue 22 Sierra and Charlie to the control point, monitor ground point 9. See you later. 22 Sierra, control point 11, monitor point 9.
Apologies for the momentary interruption.
Sunny 3, Kilo 3, cross 17, join Lima and cross 4. 428 south of Whiskey 3 on Whiskey here, going to open flying out of contact 2961, runway 17, taxi Alpha Charlie, hold short, runway 1 right. Up to short 1 right, Delta, flying out. Tower JB, Southwest 3684, 1 right. 3684, map start, good evening, wind calm, and 1 right, clear to land. Clear to land, 1 right.
Just got to make sure our systems are okay.
Map start, Mike, cross 1 right, join Whiskey.
Cross 1 right at Mike, join Whiskey,
Didn't miss anything.
7 Charlie Tango, cross 22, monitor point 9, too. Charlie Tango, cross 22.9, the 1484 heavy map start, Delta, cross runway 12 right, join Whiskey, cross runway 4, Sun Country on the other side waits for you. Delta, cross 12 right, join Minneapolis Tower, 5 and treble Metro, wind 24, correction 2504, runway 12 right, clear to land. Clear to land 12 right, Sun Country 260. Scout 3730, wind 2504, turn left heading 120, runway 17, substation. 3792, 17 minus the wind. 2385, traffic free out at Charlie, cross runway 12 right, join Whiskey, cross runway 4. Cross 12 right at Charlie. Whiskey,
All right, folks.
4.
Delta.
Looking good, sounding
733,
great.
Contact departure. Enjoy your night. Was 3684.
Perfect timing.
Whiskey Delta, monitor
Yeah.
0.92.
Whiskey Delta, well, monitor 0.9, good night, Southwest 3684.
.92, wind 2604. I'll return a couple off the end. Fly runway heading, runway 17. Clip
I
6.
noticed, Alex, we're getting so many new people down here at the viewing area, asking about the planes. That's new to them. They're just, I think we're going to get them hooked.
Yeah, and I think they're already hooked too, just by the looks of it, just kind of observing.
Their reactions.
Yep, their reactions. Like, how does this place even exist? That'd be a question for our friends over at the Metropolitan Airport Commission.
Contact departure. See you later.
We're very fortunate to have this here. Very fortunate.
1484 heavy, wind 260.
Oh, they're at a high angle.
Left heading 120, runway 17. Clip 6.
Left grounding 12017, lifting up Delta 124, 120 in the heading.
Whoa, they're going to land much further down. They got plenty.
Yeah. They'll make it. Took advantage of that long runway with that small aircraft.
Maps ground, push approved.
Approved, double.
Hold on, folks.
3792, turn right heading 215, contact departure as well.
Minneapolis, Southwest 2576, Hotel 12, push.
Southwest 3684, you're going for 12, is that correct?
Yeah, we're going to 13.
All right, perfect. Southwest 2576, reference company pulling into 13, push approved. Next time, give me a call when you're ready to push. Information Zulu is current.
Oh, sorry about that. We've got Zulu will reference company at the 13, clear to push. Hotel 12, Southwest 2576.
G45 maps, I'm in the instructions. Charlie Tango, cross runway 22.
Flat Charlie, Tango, cross.